What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World, our Saturday night edition. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas, and I am your host for all things Awakening World, at least as it relates to the Global Peace Tribe. Welcome. First off, a reminder for everybody to be muted, by the way, because we only want to have one person talking at a time. So remember that if you're in our Zoom room, you do need to keep yourself muted. Thank you much. And I want to welcome all the people in our Zoom room. I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of our friends, and some new friends who've joined us. So welcome aboard. Let us know where you are geographically. I know that we've got people from Australia, British Columbia, throughout the United States, of course. It's always fun to see where everybody's coming from, where you all are geographically. I want to extend a big welcome to all of you who are watching on our different broadcast partners. A lot of you watch us on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel, New Realities, and Alan is my co-host, so you're going to be hearing a lot from Alan tonight. Likewise, our newest broadcast partner, the Conscious Awakening Network, has been carrying us. And again, the founder of that is Sheila Seppi, and she's also with us tonight. So thank you, Alan. Thank you, Susan, for carrying all the Awakening World shows. Many of you are watching us on Facebook, and that's because John and Summer Raymer, who run the Sign Network, get us out to over 100 Facebook groups and pages. Now, if you're watching us on any of those formats, that's great. You know what? Come on into our Zoom. Come join the Global Peace Tribe. And that way we can interact more easily. We've got amazing presenters who are going to be offering a lot of wisdom. And by coming in, you can chat with them, and it's easier to have direct connection, direct contact. Hey, it's all about making contact, right, Alan? So, with no further ado, I want to encourage, if you're not in our Zoom room already, go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. You'll see where it says register for the new season. And when you click that link, it'll take you to our registration page. And once you register, you're going to get the links to all of our shows. We do 3 or 4 shows every week, all original live shows, bringing people like you're meeting today together where you can get all the latest information and inspiration for this incredible awakening world. So this is what the registration page looks like. And for example, here are some of our regular hosts. For example, Kristen Hoffman will be on tomorrow morning on our Sacred Sunday show. This last Wednesday night, we collaborated with a wonderful new platform, the Unite.Love people. Here's the show that you're participating in tonight, and look at all these wonderful guests. We're going to hear from all these wonderful people: Viviane Chauvet, Victoria Reynolds, Hope Fitzgerald, Bill Gruber, and of course our co-hosts, Neil Gar, Sheila Seppi, Alan Steinfeld. And we always have music. And tonight we have music with live Tatiana Speed and Omashar. And then tomorrow on our Sacred Sunday show, we're going to be honoring warrior angels and earth angels. Are you an earth angel? I bet you are. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be an earth angel on this planet. And we're also going to be honoring those who have been warrior angels with Chief Phil Lane, Kristen Hoffman, and Andrew Mars, who's a former Green Beret Special Forces guy. And so it's going to be an amazing show. So join the Global Peace Tribe. We have retreats, we have events. We are keeping you in the loop of what's going on. And speaking of keeping in the loop, I want to introduce 3 more people that all are dedicated to this rising consciousness, and they've been doing it for quite a while. My buddy, Alan Steinfeld, and we've been friends since 1989. He was the assistant director of a film that I made in Maui. And the work you've been doing with New Realities, thank you so much, Alan. Thank you.
It's always fun to come together because we are spreading our community. We are growing. What is this, 500 shows? We've definitely reached thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that realize there's people talking their language and they're part of something really big. And tonight is an extension of that. We are the fingertips of that community, tonight's guests.
You know, last year when we had our anniversary show, our 2-year anniversary, one of our friends added up the numbers, and we have, as of April of 2022, we're already at well over 2 million views. So by now we're at 3 million views probably. So thank you for your work. And the next person I'm bringing on, our other co-host, is Neil Gar, and he is also doing it through Portal to Ascension, some of the best live retreats, online events. And Neil, I always enjoy collaborating with you, and thank you for the incredible work you've been doing as well.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you too. And I just love that we're all in this community doing this work together, you know, we're doing some amazing things. And I'm excited to share today. Alan, pretty much 90% of the events that I do a year, Alan is a part of it on some level. And we're like 2023, we really picked up a lot of momentum what we're creating. So thank you for inviting us on here, brother, and for all the work you do. I really love just, you know, the opportunities that you provide everybody.
Well, thank you. We're going to learn all about what you guys are up to because you've got some great retreats coming up. So we're going to learn about that. But here's our newest soul sister community builder. And this is Sheila Seppi, who has created this amazing format we're going to learn about tonight called the Conscious Awakening Network. So welcome, Sheila. How does it feel to be part of this ever-growing, expansive global community?
It's amazing. I absolutely love it. It's always a joy to get out and to talk about things that's near and dear to my heart. And, you know, ever since I've been on this path, I've been kind of waving the consciousness banner. And I was very fortunate to be able to link up to Alan and Neil, and now linking up with you. And I think together we're all just making this happen. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Now, the inspiration for tonight's show is what the 3 of you have created, which is this incredible Ancient Galactic Wisdom Conference. Now, the first day was today, and many of you leading presenters are with us tonight. But tell us about how you guys came together and a little bit about what will be happening tomorrow, because people can still register.
Well, you know, like you, Scott, we're talent scouts and matchmakers, right? So I heard that Neil, when I was working with Neil, and then I met actually Sheila through our good friend Phil Gruber. I heard Sheila's story and the vision she has to pull together. Her original organization was called WISH, Walk-ins, Indigo, Starseeds, and Hybrids. That kind of said it all. That was like, that's everyone you'd ever want to meet on this planet or off planet. So put it together with Neil. We collaborated on the first hybrid conference, the first walk-in conference. I mean, right, Neil, those were first for the interview.
Yeah. I remember it very well. And, you know, and there's certain things that I remember and just stick with me, you know, because generally my memory isn't that great, I guess. And it was the phone call from Sheila. And I remember telling her that to call me back and all that. And it was her idea that, I've been speaking to Alan. I really want to, I've been in the field of walk-ins. I am a walk-in. I have a book on walk-ins and want to create an event on it. And I wanted to create an event myself on walk-ins for at least 2 years before that, but I wasn't passionate enough about it in those moments, and I didn't have the individuals to connect with on that. So when Sheila came to me and proposed this, I was like, well, how great is this? Not only do I get an opportunity to explore a topic I want to be exploring, but we also get to start the next phase of Portal to Ascension, which is the collaboration, co-productions. So since I started working with Sheila and Alan and I and Sheila doing this together, it was really the first in the model of bringing on other full-on organizations to create conferences with. And now we're 3 years deep. We've done, I think, like 6, 7 events together, full-on conferences, 2-day summits, hybrids, walk-ins. The amount of awareness that we've created, it's a mystery school in its own. So it's been really great, not only doing these events with Sheila, but just really getting to know her. And you're one of the most passionate, dedicated people I know, Sheila. Like, you really live this information. So I just appreciate being able to work with you.
Sheila has a great story, Scott. Maybe she'll tell it one time about her walk-in experience. She is not the person that was born in that body.
Yeah, I overheard her telling that story because I sat in on your Galactic Wisdom panel today. And actually I was curious because Sheila, you did talk about how that original body had some really serious physical health challenges, but then there was something about being from your collective that allowed you to come into a, I guess, unhealthy body and have a resurgence of health. Is that what I understood?
Yes. When I entered into this body, I came into a very sick body. There were lots and lots of illnesses that had been diagnosed, including bone cancer, brain tumors, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. I walked with a cane. And when the old body went to sleep, it was like 7 o'clock the next morning. It felt like someone reached down, grabbed me by the hair of the head, pulled me bolt right up in bed. And it was like lightning ran through my body. And then I was in white space. And so I don't know how long I was there, but when I came out of that, first my peripheral vision and then my frontal vision came in, and everything had changed in my life. When I walked by a mirror, I did not recognize myself. I was immediately clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and I didn't know it at the time, but the body was completely healed. And because the soul that originally inhabited this body was Arcturian, there had already been this energetic framework, if you will, that was in place. So when I came in from the collective, the first things that started to come in were aspects of the Arcturian soul, which made it easy to come in without frying the biology. And then over time, more and more of my soul self has originated from the collective. And now I inhabit mainly and hold the space for Andromeda's soul. And so everything in my life changed from that point on. And I've just been on a spiritual path, very passionate. First couple years, I thought I was having a psychotic break, but after I got through that, everything was good. And I've just been on this path. Doors have opened. Every time I turn around, my collective has given me a new challenge and a new opportunity, but they're also providing the resources. And so, I feel very blessed to be here, loving life.
We are going to hear a lot from our audience today. I want to encourage everybody to ask questions, put it in the chat box. I'll monitor it. And there's actually right away a question for you, Sheila, so I'm keeping the camera on you. This is from Laura Chamberlain. She asks a question about AI, but specifically to walk-ins. I'm not happy about its growing influence in our society. Do you have any warnings or suggestions about how we can thwart the techno tyrants? Now that's an interesting question, seeing that she's directing it to you. So Sheila, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I can tell you that prior to incarnating, when I was in the Andromedan system, we were actually out working deep in the Andromedan system when we had a call from Gaia to come, and then we came to work on the crystalline grid. And through a variety of 2 or 3 actually hypnosis sessions, I discovered that we were actually out kind of on a scouting mission, and we were actually trying to keep AI from entering into the backside of the Andromedan system. It was huge. It was like this black metallic worm that was kind of coming through, and then there was intervention and it did not enter in. But for me, AI technology can be one of 2 things. It can be used for good. It can be used not so good. And so we just have to really be aware, and we have to search our souls to find out if what's being offered to us is in our best and highest good.
Yeah. I have to say, Scott, I heard a lot about walk-ins and I've met a lot of walk-ins, but I wasn't totally convinced about the reality until I met Sheila. And it's like, that is a walking miracle. And she's so into it. She's really fine-tuned the walk-in experience in books and in her cosmic conversation. So she is pushing the edge of what spiritual science is. And that's why I'm happy to be working with her.
Thank you. And then working with you guys, of course, and Phil to get the Wish Alliance up and going. Now we've expanded and become the Galactic Alliance. And this is a place where people can come. We have Monday and Thursday night presentations, and they can find community. And that is the component that I'm working with these gentlemen on right now that has brought forward the Ancient Galactic Wisdom Conference that we're in this weekend.
And tomorrow, the second part. So if people have missed today, they can go to that flyer. You can go to portal2ascension.org, look up online. Oh, there it is. And you can get today's total video, right, Neil? If you sign up for
it. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so if you sign up, you can attend tomorrow, and then you get the replay for today and tomorrow anyway. And if you can't even attend this weekend, you'll just get the replay, and you have unlimited replay access to all the content.
Right. So it's so nice the way to weave these organizations together. Awaken World, Portal to Ascension, Alliance, all and New Realities. It's like we're creating a matrix for a new community to awaken into. So on the show tonight, people were saying they were very isolated. They've had these, ET galactic experiences. There's no one to talk to. So we're providing a space, because we're non-local now, for people to turn to. I mean, all of us here, Mystic Abbott and everyone else, we've been around this, but there's people waking up every day and say, who can I talk to? I just had a really weird experience. And so this is why it's so important we're doing this.
I just want to really encourage everybody to participate in the Ancient Galactic Wisdom Conference. And these are your presenters. And our audience tonight is going to get to meet Hope and Vivian, Victoria Reynolds, and Phil Gruber. But also you had some amazing other people, including Chris Griscom and Craig Campobbasso and Jody Serrato. And all of those people are pretty remarkable human beings, or star beings, I probably should say, in human form. So again, everybody, if you go to portal2ascension.org, portal2ascension.org. And then once you go there, it'll be easy for you to find where you can register. You'll get the video replay from today, and you can join the show tomorrow. And that's from 10 o'clock till 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow.
Also on Portal to Ascension, you might want to look around, because Neil and I and Joan are putting together some amazing other retreats, Egypt, San Diego, Glastonbury, Sedona. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
We'll talk a little bit about that later. I do want to also just briefly, since Sheila talked about her Wish Alliance, again, for those of you watching on Facebook, let me read it to you slowly. If you go to thegalacticalliance.org, thegalacticalliance.org, we are a multidimensional conscious evolution movement for anyone seeking universal knowledge, spiritual growth, education, and community. And this is where Sheila is bringing these remarkable people. So go there and at least, subscribe, just like I'm doing right now. Go there, subscribe so you can get the information, learn more about it. Because really, we are in an awakening world. And the more information we get, the more that we share with each other, the more we all bring into reality the awakened world that we all are seeking. All right, we're going to hear a lot more from Sheila and Neil and Alan throughout the show, but hey, it's Saturday night, and Saturday night we always have live music. And this is our beautiful brother, house musical artist, Omashar, who hopefully can get the song in before he gets beamed aboard that.
No, I'm actually I'm hoping to be beamed aboard, actually, because I got beamed in here, so here we are. And namaste and aloha, everybody. What a wonderful topic. Well, what a wonderful topic. It's just a remembering of that which is true anyway. And I have a song here called Welcome Home. And so to all our galactic brothers, sisters, and others, welcome home. Just gonna press a couple of things.
And remember, everybody, to dance and move and groove to the music, and I'll pop you on camera.
Let me shine a light inside, and I'll show you where your truth resides. Lift your eyes up to the skies, and I'll prove to you that nothing dies. Together we will rise again, and we'll make amends for what we've done. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. So let me take your hands in mine. As I look at you, your spirit shines. You see, it's true that we are one, and we came out from the central sun. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. So when you take a different view and you dream awake, breathe out the new. The world will come alive again as we dance and sing and make new friends. I know you hear me, so please true that we are one, and that we came out from the central sun.
All right, let's go to gallery view and everybody twinkle. Lots of love to our beloved brother Omashar.
Call me, you can call me Twinkle Shah. Twinkle, twinkle, little Shah.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that song. I love it.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, remember that we want to support beloved brother Omashar by going to his website where you can get all of his albums, and that is omashar.bandcamp.com. omashar.bandcamp.com. So Omashar will be back with more music later on tonight. Thank you, brother. No getting beamed aboard that spaceship till you do your closing song.
Actually, I'm going to do it from the spaceship. I'm just going to channel into everybody's brain, so you won't know the difference. Seamless.
All right. Well, we'll pick up the vibe at least. All right. We have some amazing presenters tonight, and to introduce our first presenter, I'm turning it over to my wonderful buddy and my co-host for the evening, Ellen Steinfeld.
Thank you, Scott. I just want to acknowledge how dedicated some of us have been today. We will have been up 12 hours online, starting with me, Sheila, and I think Hope was there, and Phil. I mean, 12 hours dedicated to Galactic Alliance Awakening Wisdom. I mean, you can't get enough of this stuff, but that's how this movement is mushrooming and gaining traction, because people want to hear this. We want to share this. And the first guest is someone who I've really gotten to know much better over the last couple of years. I met her, someone introduced me to interview her. I said, okay, I'll do that. That's fine. And she created this great technology called the Wave technology, which has been downloaded to her about how your vibration. So that's one of the things that she does. And then I started to get to know her. I said, wow, she channels these galactic beings, and she actually channels a very special person for me that maybe she'll talk about, but it's like, she is a wealth of spiritual knowledge, and she has her online groups. And I think Hope Fitzgerald she's one of us. She is dedicated to this transformation. I'm so happy she's part of this community. Welcome, Hope, to the Awakened World. So thanks.
Thank you, Alan. And wow, Scott, this is amazing. I'm kind of embarrassed. This is my first time here, but I will be back. That's for sure. This is wonderful. And I love the song, and it's a great way to get going. So, yeah. So where shall we begin, Alan?
Why don't you start? I think the best thing is to start how this technique, this technology, came into you, that because other people can use it. That's applicable. And it's a great story of your own awakening. So how's that?
Yeah, sure. So, just as quickly as I can, I had always been on a spiritual path, but I'd always had this thing where I wanted the knowing, the gnosis. I wanted to move from believing to knowing. And I got what I wished for. And then I wasn't quite sure if I really should take my wish back. So what happened was I'd had a very difficult year, 2010, very, very difficult. And I went on a sound healing retreat to clean my inner bowl, to just clean everything out and start fresh. And I did that. And I came home and I felt like, geez, I don't even have an identity anymore. This is the most wonderful, freeing thing ever. But 3 days later, nature abhors a vacuum. All of a sudden, I'm walking across my living room and I see this vision. I see 100-foot wave, beautiful, turquoise, gorgeous. And it wasn't scary, but it was moving toward me. And then there was this byline that went with the wave that said, this wave represents a push of evolution that is coming to the planet. It's going to move around the planet until the end of 2011, and then it's going to anchor in. okay, I wasn't used to having visions, never had visions. So this was alarming a little bit, but then quickly it moved to a side view where it was a cresting wave. So it kind of looks like a sea. And, you'd expect a surfer to come through. And in this version, it said, the byline said, the wave gets its energy from the seabed, from the earth. And that's how it has the energy to create the crest. So they were saying, you too should forget all your knowing, all your knowledge, all your book knowledge and all of that, and go to the earth and go to the wisdom keepers of the earth for your knowledge. And then mix that in with this push of evolution that was coming. So I thought, okay, I don't know what that means. And then the sea turned into a figure eight made of flowing water. A standing figure eight made of floating water. It was beautiful. And it was sitting about 18 inches in front of my forehead. And there was no byline with that. And then it wouldn't go away for 3 days. And so finally I sat down, and I'm a dowser. I've been dowsing for decades now, and I help people to make decisions, and I developed my own kind of manner of dowsing so that I didn't have to just stick with yes and no. And so I asked my dowsing rods, let's figure out what this is, guide team. And I was told in a nutshell, it was called the infinity wave. And what it is a 10th dimensional energetic sent to us to help us not resist this push of evolution, not resist this incoming thing. If we resisted, we would have a much harder time. If you go to the beach and you're standing there and a big wave comes, you're going to get knocked down. But if you learn to dive into it or swim with it or surf it, you're going to do much better. And what it is that inherent in that watery flow of this figure eight is that 10th dimensional love and compassion. It's already woven into the water. It doesn't have to be manufactured. Well, okay. Then I was told, and you need to go create some workshops and do that for the next 9 months. And I was like, whoa, I've been a teacher. I come in prepared. I don't even know what this thing is. And they kept talking about evolution and so, I realized that I really couldn't say no, but I have to say that I was terrified, because to stand up in front of people and share something that I really didn't know what it was, and I wouldn't feel prepared, and people would think I was crazy and all of those things, but I finally said yes. And I scheduled a weekend workshop in about a month later. And then every week I would sit down with my dowsing rods and my wonderful colleague, and I would just to try to douse something in. And then these practices, my voice would change. I would talk very slowly, all these things would happen. And these practices dropped in just like little jewels. And I would look at them and read them and go, oh my gosh, that's something that's like a meditation practice. Well, this happened leading up to the workshop. It happened 3 times. So I would have 3 practices to go in and share this infinity wave thing. Every practice involved this infinity wave. What I came to understand over the course of the first 3 months, which was a weekend a month, that was the full workshop. All of it was doused, how to do it. I was walking blind. I had to trust totally. I had to leap off the diving board or the cliff and trust that the words would come to my mouth and that this would mean something to people. Well, the most amazing thing is when I got to the end of those first 3 weekends, I looked back and I realized that step by step, these practices were taking everybody from wherever they were and ramping them up to their next iteration of their evolution. And it was without fail. And I noticed, it wasn't just that people were feeling a little bit better or, cozy or anything like that. No, there was a real transformation happening. People who were sick got well. People who didn't have jobs got jobs. People who were about to divorce didn't divorce. People's faces changed. And I had to sit back kind of like a scientist and go, okay, let's run this experiment again. So I did another 3, and then I did another 3. And by that 9th month, I realized this was what they were telling me it was. I had this little bit of doubt, but then I saw so much evidence. So what happens is this infinity wave made of lovely love and compassion it can be any size. It's an idea, but as we know, ideas have impact. Ideas can become reality all the time. Just look at our computers and everything we're wearing, right? Ideas can change things. And in the case of the infinity wave, being a 10th dimensional energetic, it can actually change 3D reality. I know that sounds like a lot to ask, but it can. And I've seen it and other people have experienced it.
You want to lead us in a little infinity wave meditation so each of us can experience that?
Sure. I'll just see if I can do this real quick.
Okay, we have
So
time.
let's just everybody just close your eyes and take a deep breath from your feet all the way up to your heart. And exhale down through your legs, down through your feet, just connecting with the earth. Up through your feet to your heart and down. And now let's switch it around. Exhale up through the head, expanding out all around you, and inhale down through the crown, down into the heart. Exhaling out like a fountain. Inhaling that divine essence down right into your heart. Okay, so now we know we're connected above and below. Now take your attention and put it in your heart center. And imagine that floating in your heart center, and there's no wrong way to do this, is a figure 8 made of flowing water. It can be any color, it can be turned in any direction. You just try to locate it. And you might want to take your finger and just trace it over your heart just to get the sensation of the movement of the water. And you might start to feel a little tingling or a little softening in your heart. Because what's being delivered to your heart right now is this love and compassion that you don't have to manufacture. It is inherent in the design, in the geometry. Just let that settle into your heart for a moment. And now, as you breathe, as you inhale, imagine that little wave is going to begin to stretch. And let's orient it east and west, so pointing towards each rib cage. And let's just inhale just enough to make it grow just a little bit. And what starts to happen as we continue to breathe and as it continues to stretch, as you start to feel your heart widening. And let's just remember that this beautiful compassion for you, for all that you have been through, for all your trials, your tribulations, all the things that you bear in this life, you are being bathed right now in this extremely pure compassion. Unadulterated, infinite compassion. Just see if you can receive that into your heart as you continue to breathe and as it continues to stretch across your chest. And also remembering that this infinite love, this pristine quality of love, this universal love, is also flowing in your heart. Love for how you love love for the being that you are, that you chose to come here. You chose to be present at this time. You chose to love others and be a beacon of love in this time, which is quite something, but that's why you came. Now, stretching that wave, see how far you can stretch it across your chest. And it'll bring a feeling of vulnerability, but safety, because you are being held in this cradle of love and compassion. And now, if you just want to allow the wave to reduce itself to whichever size you wish, whichever one feels most comfortable. And then when you're ready, just slowly bring yourself back to the room.
Wow. Thank you. I'm waving at you, Hope.
I'm waving you, Alan.
Talk about waving at each other for a second, then we'll just go wrap.
Yes. So the wave can be used in a million ways. It's like a slicer, dicer, it does everything. And you can wave another person. You can wave an animal, you can wave a rock, you can wave a tree, you can wave a star, you can wave the earth. You put one end of the loop in your heart, and then you extend it out to whatever it is you want to connect with. And it's water for a reason. Think of all the water in our bodies. And when we connect our bodies through this, it's imagined, but it's also a living energetic. It's quite real. So when, Alan, you and I wave one another, we are now affecting literally the vibration that happens in our water. We're bringing it up to a higher level. And so now our interaction is going to be above 3D. I'm not going to say where it is, but it's definitely going to be above 3D. And this has been demonstrated so many times. I've had instances where I've gone from really strong anger, being the mother of a teenage boy, to complete calm, in fact, laughter, which I thought had taken me a half an hour of waving. And I looked at the clock. It only took 5 minutes to transition my emotional state 180 degrees. We can use this wave to send it to troubled places in the world. We can use it to uplift our spirits, use it in traffic, use it with the checkout person. It's got 1,000,001 uses, and that's kind of what I've been trying to share for the last 12 years.
Well, what a gift you are to our world, to our awakening world. Eleanor Joy, who you saw dancing, she writes, "Divine timing, Hope. For me now with my current medical situation, much gratitude." I'm sure several of our other people really enjoyed it. And I want to let people know, because Hope is a new friend of ours, and boy, she's got some wonderful offerings. And I love the name of her website. It's spreadinfinitehope.com. Spreadinfinitehope.com. And I'm going to show you a few things on her website. First of all, as always, go down, and she's got this beautiful meditation library available. And definitely subscribe. You always want to subscribe to our new presenters, so that you can, stay in touch with them, learn more about their offerings. So that's always an important thing to do. But she also does dowsing, and that's very interesting. There we are. Yes, I will go get back to you, MailChimp, and let you know that. But let's go back to the sessions that you provide and the dowsing that you do. Tell us about that.
Well, dowsing, there I am with my rods. I use those rods to help people make decisions in their lives. There's so many, especially during these last 3 years when so much change has been going on. People have been moving, relationships, so many things. So I have a little mini pair right here, and you see they're inside a copper sleeve, so I can't manipulate them. So if I say, please show me a yes, they go in. And if I say, please show me a no, they go out. But the reason I like rods, I also use pendulums for healing and clearing spaces and all that. But the reason I like rods is you see how fast they are. And if I have a question that isn't a clear yes, and I'm just going to manipulate them now, they'll come partially in, or they'll give me a yes and a no, or they'll move really slowly. So what I'm saying is they're very nuanced, and I know how to read them. And what happens is, as soon as I start to douse for somebody, I always say my cork opens, and I start to hear words, see pictures, and that's why I'm not confined to just yes and no answers. I'm guided intuitively to down the paths that we need to go to. And it works really quickly. So my sessions are usually only half an hour, and we get a tremendous amount done. So that's my dowsing.
How can people sign up for a private session with you?
Yes.
Oh, where do they go?
They just go to sessions and scroll down, and they choose which length of session they want. And then I get an email, and then we set up. I don't have regular hours because my schedule changes so much. So I will get in touch with whoever, and we'll set it up.
What a joy to have you with us. Welcome to the Awakening World. And definitely hope that you'll come back on and we can learn more about you. We just got a little bit of a homeopathic dose of you, and what an amazing life you've had. What an amazing experience of awakening. Last question for you. Any tips, when you were having these incredible kind of cosmic experiences, you didn't necessarily have a context for it all, and you made your way to what you're doing now. Any tips for anybody watching right now who are also having increasing psychic experiences, cosmic experiences, who don't fully understand what the heck is going on?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm writing my second book right now for those people, to give them courage and to keep going no matter what. Because, but the key is to get to the edge of that cliff with your little toes curled right over the edge, and to finally leap. Because I always say the universe can't catch you if you don't leap. You will be caught. You will be caught. And it's in that trust that everything starts to unfold. And it is a whole bodied trust. It's not a little trust. It's over the edge.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Hope. And
thank you.
What a pleasure to meet you. Hey, I'm going to go back to Alan for a moment, because speaking of books, he wrote the book, Making Contact. And a lot of us are going to come together at the Conscious Life Expo to celebrate Alan winning the award for the book. So Alan, tell us about the book and tell us about how they can vote for you.
There's Vivian's book there, and there's Victoria's book there. So I'm going to put the link to vote. You could vote for my book, Making Contact, or any of the 50 other amazing books there, but I really would like to win. Otherwise, the election has been called. No, whoever wins is great, because they're all great gifts to our community. Each of these books here, everything Vivian and Victoria put their energies into, and of Hope, but she doesn't have it in the competition. But go there. It's in the chat now. It's the jot form. Fill it out. Vote for the book of your choice. If you like UFOs, you like Arcturians, if you like channeling that Victoria's doing, this is part of building a new culture, is that we have our own language, we have our own techniques, we're developing a culture here that will make other people awakening to this reality find a comfortable place. They won't have to struggle like all of us have been in the wilderness, looking for a home, looking for community. We have a community. Andrew and Connie have been doing that for a long time. And so many people here about building community. But the Conscious Life Expo is doing this book award. So I put the jot form in there, just fill it out. And I don't want to influence anyone, but if you like making
Of course
content,
you do. Of course you do. Own it, pal. It's okay.
no, everyone is a winner. But
Absolutely.
so
But come on, you really want to win.
I, it's always good, but that's an old paradigm. We're all, but I know what you're saying. So anyway,
Sometimes we're so spiritual, and I just want to acknowledge that, look, if you're a human being, you have an ego. We can't live in this body without lungs or with a heart or without an ego. And, we kind of want to win. I mean, it is a bit of a competition. And of course, every book is an accomplishment, every book. So what we're talking about, I'm going to go to the link, is this Conscious Life Expo Book Awards. And really, it's a wonderful way to bring more presence, because maybe we go to vote for Alan's book, but then we discover, oh, wow, look at these other amazing books. My good friend, Karina Velasco, The Future of Sex. So we see all the other books that are featuring authors that are going to be at the Conscious Life Expo. And that's where we segue right now into wanting to just encourage everyone, if you can make it to Los Angeles, February 10th to the 13th, you just got to fly into the airport, because it's at the LAX Hilton Hotel. I've got a suite that I'm going to be in, and I'm going to be broadcasting The Awakening World from the expo that weekend, inviting all of our friends to come on into the room and be on. It's going to be a lot of fun. But imagine you could be there live at the expo, and so many. Alan, of course, will be there. Neil Gar will be there. Sheila, almost everybody that you've seen tonight is going to be at the Conscious Life Expo. They've got an incredible array of speakers. The Twin Ray are going to be there. And a lot of the people watching our show love the Twin Ray. You talk about how when you met Sheila, that's when you really believed in walk-ins. I have a similar experience. Shakina Ma of the Twin Ray is a walk-in, and her story was like, oh yeah, wow, this is very real. So get to the expo.
I think it's a good place for our community. It's great to meet online. It's kept us connected, but there's something about the physical presence that can't compare with just looking at boxes. There's a whole energetics. And so we need to come together. If we're building this community, to not just be online, we need to make it real. And the Conscious Life Expo, I have to say, is the best, most populated expo in the country. And it's really a lot of fun.
It's going to be incredible. Laura, as far as the sessions being live streamed, I don't believe so. Alan, do you know?
I don't think they are being this year, but so I think they'll be taped, and there'll be a Conscious Life website that you can go to for some of the lectures. I'm doing a lecture with JJ and Desiree Hertak. We're talking about multidimensionality. I'm also doing a lot of emceeing there. I'm hosting an angel panel. Vivian is talking there. Neil is talking, Victoria.
It's really a who's who. It's remarkable. And we'll go one more time doing Global Peace Trip announcements, and I'll show the schedule to everybody, Alan. Hey, there is a question. People wanted to know, can they vote multiple times for multiple authors?
I don't think they really want that, because they, one vote, one person. Otherwise, I mean, of course, it's not illegal, but I think they calculate your email, and if you use the same email, they'll discount the second vote. So they want to make it fair. So, it's the first time they're doing that, but they've gathered, there's probably about 5,000 people who voted already. So they've done something really good. Like I say, this is about building community, and we need cultural artifacts in our community. We need music like Om Mashar and Kristen and Larissa, and books and language and community meetings. So we're creating something. Scott, you've been doing it for 20 years. We're creating something different and that people can wake up to. And I think, maybe in 20 years, they'll say, what was it like when the planet woke up then in the early 2020s. What was that like?
Well, we need to move forward because otherwise this show is going to go till midnight. And I know that we've got Phil Gruber all the way from Singapore. Phil's new for myself. So Alan, I'm going to let you introduce this gentleman.
Well, Phil, I have to say, it's been an inspiration to me. Phil, twice in one day, I'm introducing you. And Phil, like many of us, have been on the path for a long, long time, but he is a researcher. He's an investigator into the esoteric, metaphysic, occult, mystical traditions that are secret to a lot of people. So he's a archivist, an excavator of deep wisdom. And Phil, what do you have to share with us tonight?
I got to share with you, I haven't been to a Conscious Life Expo since 2006. I wish I could make it for this one. I got a book too.
Oh,
The Kabbalah Code, a mostly true adventure that I wrote with Jimmy Twyman. I think Jimmy is part of our extended Global Peace Tribe.
and you also have a copy of my book. Don't you have the first edition of my book?
I have the galley proof of Alan's follow-up to Making Contact, Making Out with ETs. And I think this is a surefire winner of the next one. No doubt about it.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, what do you give us some wisdom tonight? Because I know you got it in you. Because
I got some great stuff. I wanna follow up with something that Hope said, but Eleanor Joy, when she wrote in the chat and she had so much gratitude, this is the key. There is the more powerful healing forces that I know in heaven or earth than gratitude and forgiveness. In the Master Key, I'm teaching a 24-week program co-sponsored by the Portal to Ascension. Charles Hanel's a complete Master Key program, 24 lessons, 24 weeks. And even in the first lesson, he talks about the great secret of life is in the coordination of two centers. The centers he's talking about is the brain and the solar plexus. And how do you get them to come together? How do you get them to coordinate with each other? Gratitude. It's the real secret of gratitude. Yes, gratitude is giving thanks, but gratitude is also a magnetic force that unites your brain and your solar plexus in the heart space. And that's where gratitude is felt. There is nothing more powerful, I know, that can heal than gratitude and forgiveness together. And I think in a few days, Sheila, right? February the 2nd, Mariana, Leah, and I are doing a talk on the Pistis Sophia. This is a Gnostic gospel, which is an extended conversation between Jesus and Mary Magdalene. All the disciples are there, but they can't understand Jesus's explanations, and Mary Magdalene has to do the translations, where they talk about forgiveness. This is the heart of the Pistis Sophia. True forgiveness, it's never been about blame, it's forgiving. What do you have to sacrifice? And the word even sacrifice, when we talk about doing it for Christ's sake, yes, it's for the sake of the Christos. That's what the sacrifice is. It's sacrificing what no longer serves you, what no longer through you can be of genuine, sincere, and dedicated planetary service. Forgiveness is the key. And how do you forgive? To be a channel, so grace can come through you into the world, so you can extend that grace to all creation. And how do you forgive? You make apology. If you feel that you've been violated, or if you feel that you have violated out of naivete, ignorance, conscious volition, you forgive yourself first. You make an apology. The word apology comes from the old root apollo, which means not many. So when you apologize, you are reaffirming oneness. And it says in the Pistis Sophia, with progressive apology, the soul is rendered innocent of all intensifications of karma and is placed in a position of never having been separated from the one. So forgiveness and gratitude. I wonder if I can share the screen for a second. Is it possible to do that? I don't have to do that this time, but
Share screen is open. Go ahead and share screen, Phil. You can do that.
oh man, here it is. It worked. Can everybody see this?
Yes, we can.
This here is Emoto. This I'm going to go back and talk about with something Hope said. It's the structure of the crystal. Emoto's most beautiful crystals are the ones where thoughts of forgiveness and gratitude have been projected into. Look at this crystal. The reason it can hold and radiate so much light is because of its structure. It has the structure that can hold multiple dimensions of love, forgiveness, and gratitude. And just think about if you become the living embodiment of forgiveness and gratitude, every crystal and microcrystal in your body will be able to hold and radiate that light. That's when you become a presence healer. You heal by your presence alone. And look at this one, if you can see it here. Look at this one. I know the resolution isn't that great. I got to find this photographer. All I have is his signature. This is a snowflake. But if you look very carefully, I'm trying to get this full screen. Not sure I can do it. But right in the center of this snowflake, look what's in the center. This, and Scott talked about the Shekinah, the presence of God, who is right now in a state of exile because we've denied that aspect of ourselves, our divine femininity, or that electromagnetic balance that really we are here to help establish. Look in the center of this snowflake. It looks like an expression of the divine feminine. It looks like a female figure sitting on a throne. And I believe that at the center of every crystal, there is this elemental, this deity, this expression of the divine feminine. Because in the time we're in now is the resurrection of Eve and divine femininity. I showed this to Emoto many years ago, and then I showed him this. This I love. If you don't know what this is, just take a guess. What does it look like? It looks like like a pedestal or an altar or some geometric sort of figure, right? A column. Well, guess what? This is also a snowflake under electron microscope photography. It blew Emoto's mind. I wish he would have followed up on this because it shows you that our thoughts not only influence the growth and the shape of crystals, but they also create geometrical architecture. So if we can begin to think in divine thoughts, we can create these divine temples of spiritual science right in our own being. We can become the temples. And when the temple is rebuilt, the temple in man, the temple in woman, then the Shekinah will return from her state of exile. She'll return in her dazzling white radiance and be the liberator of matter. Well, that was a pretty good opening. Alan, are you still there?
Still here. It's interesting. You and Hope both talked about water, and I don't think we appreciate water, that we are water enough. And water, it's the fluid of life. And so there's teachings within the water, like you and Hope said.
Remember the water conference? What was that, back in 2004?
Yeah.
UMC that. Remember, JJ and Desiree were there, Emoto was there, and I talked about these same concepts, that if we become the living embodiment of grace, forgiveness, all these divine qualities, Emoto showed us that every crystal and microcrystal in your body will be able to hold and radiate that light.
Right. For people who don't know Emoto, he did experiments where he would, and you could do this experiment, take even like make 2 bowls of rice and put them in jars and say, I love you to one, and then say, I hate you the other. The one that you hate, not that you want to project hate, but just for the experiment, it will turn dark and black and moldy. And the one that you love will stay fresher. We have that effect, but just imagine what those thoughts have on our bodies when we say and feel
The
things.
negative thought, well, the crystal will have no structure, and it's the structure that holds the memory.
So
And the
Phil,
more it's structured, the more memory it can hold, the more dimensions of, look, when I had my walk-in 6 years old, look at this face. This was right after my walk-in. Look at those eyes. Look at that chain of Plymouth. Look at this. How much soul is embodied in that little boy, 6 years old. If you saw the photos of me before and after, you would see the difference. Now that walk-in only lasted about 10, 11 years, but during it, the downloads were just amazing. And it's amazing that I just want to bring up again, Eleanor, when you express gratitude, that is the key. Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, to virtually guarantee the attainment of any goal, you need to focus on that one primary desire. It's got to be something you really want, a burning desire that comes from deep within you. And you have to have that sense of gratitude, because yes, it's giving thanks, but the magnetic force of gratitude will unite your solar plexus. And that is the key. Charles Haanel, the first lesson in the Master Key, the great secret of life is in the coordination of the solar plexus and the heart. And gratitude will bring them together. And forgiveness, true forgiveness. Jesus gave a secret mantra to his disciples in the Pistis Sophia: Zama, Zama, Ozah, Rachaman, Ozai. I will put it in the chat later. Zama, Zama, Ozah, Rachaman, Ozai. And the secret to that mantra is the Rachaman. Be merciful to yourself. If through ignorance or naivete or just plain stupidity, you allowed yourself to be violated, or you violated someone else's, someone else, just give yourself some slack, forgive yourself, make an apology. And again, with progressive apology, the soul is rendered innocence. And innocence means to be free of karma. When you're in the condition of karma, manifested by what we call miasms, miasms are actually buildups of antiparticles in the particle base of the body. And people wonder why you have these infrastructures of a possible potential dominion, one world order, because supposedly what's happening on parallel Earth, it's already under every time matrix has a parallel time matrix. We are magnetically based or electrically based. There is a parallel to Earth and to us. And if they're already under a form of quote unquote draconian one world order, and we keep creating or co-creating this condition we know is karma, manifested as miasms, which are built-ups of antiparticles, all that antiparticle consciousness is building up in the earth. And this is why we're seeing these infrastructures.
Phil, to wrap up, just tell people what you'll be teaching and, where to find you, essence of your courses.
I hope that people will sign up for the Galactic Knowledge Conference. I did a talk today and I went into some detail about our genetic lineages, about the seed races and the founders races that contributed to the creation of the original angelic human. This is when we understand who we are, where we come from, where we're going. This is the key. This is the evolutionary destiny. This is our purpose. And to be free, the freedom teachings that teach us about transmutational dimensional ascension. This is the evolutionary path of human consciousness, why we were created to be guardians and custodians of the stargates on the planet, the stargates within us. February 2nd and 9th, I'll be doing talks with the Galactic Alliance, first on the Pistis Sophia, then on the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. We did the first lesson of the 24 course of the Master Key. Charles, I'm teaching the complete Master Key, and you may have missed the first lesson, but all the lessons are being recorded.
Right.
And so coming for the next 23 weeks, I'm also integrating a lot of the material I used in my private mentorships also. in this 24-week course. And I'm just so happy, Scott. This is something, dreams do come true. I've already gotten to perform with the Teletubbies. Next to that, many years ago, is being part of this family, this global peace tribe, is an honor and a privilege. And just forgive my enthusiasm, but I'm
Your
just so
enthusiasm is
thrilled
infectious.
and so happy to join this extended family. I'm really on the verge of tears. I got to tell you, it's just so. It really, it's beautiful.
You
And I
know, we
just
really
thank you.
we are the imaginal cells finding each other to create the new paradigm. And gosh, there's so many things you said that I'd love to comment on. Jimmy Twyman has been on the show many times. I've known him forever.
Yeah.
And you know, we're all finding each other and we're all coming together. And you did talk about the alternate reality, and I want to say, and someday I'll even do a show on it. One day I woke up, no drugs involved, in an alternate reality, and I was totally awake. And it was me, Scott Thomas, who had made a different choice, and it was nothing so dramatic, but I know that alternate realities are real, parallel universes are real, and by all of us coming together and holding this vision for an awakened world, by all constantly being in gratitude, which is absolutely the most important thing, by all practicing what you and Alan and all of our presenters on this show bring together, by all doing this, we will be in the alternate reality that is not draconian, that is not, you know, cockroaches this big in a post-nuclear apocalyptic wasteland. We will be experiencing rainbows and unicorns. So thank you very much for the work you're doing. And Philip, again, I'd love to have you join us on the show again, go deeper. And for everybody who wants more of Philip, this is the website he provided, although Philip, it sounds like there's another website we should show. So if you can pop that in the chat box about your course. But what he did provide us is his website of mostseminars.com. mostseminars.com. And this is the maximum optimization success training seminar that Phil Gruber has created. And always put your email address in there so that you can get updates and Phil knows how to reach you.
Yes, I will put my email. We're also, Marianne and I are leading a trip to France to explore really deeply mysteries of the Magdalene. We have trips scheduled for next year. I know we're going to be intersecting with Neil in France and possibly in September in the Holy Land. So this is just very, very exciting. And like you alluded to, Global Peace Tribe, Wish, Galactic Alliance, Portal to Ascension, they're all like strange attractors. This is how we're coming together.
That's right.
And finding that fellowship that we so dearly wanted so much of our lives to be able to share, to find that fellowship, right? That we can share our joy and our pain and our quests together, to join together. We're feathers in each other's wings.
Our brother Neil Gar did provide the link. So here is where people can find out about your 24-week program. It just began. And again, you'll find it on portaltoascension.org. Hey, everybody, if you have not checked out portaltoascension.org, there's so many incredibly important things that are taking place there. And we're going to, you know, take a look at their Egyptian tour that they've got coming up, the big San Diego retreat coming up. So definitely check it all out. And
I think you've had Laraji on. I would love in the future to play some harp, because my one CD is a collaboration with Laraji.
oh, wow.
Of interest. So I would love to be able to play some music on a future Global Peace Tribe. That would just be so wonderful.
And I just brought on our friends Ray and Sahat because they pointed out something beautiful as we're talking about being imaginal cells. They pointed out one person operating in a space of pure gratitude affects 750,000 people on the planet. So again, there's a beautiful testament for gratitude. So, and we're going to hear from Ray and Sahat a little bit later on the show.
I just want, Scott, I have a lot of gratitude to Phil because he got me on the lecture path. I've known Phil longer than I know you, Scott.
Wow.
Worked at this restaurant down the street from my apartment. I pass it every day. He goes, "We're going to be good friends one day." I said, "Who is this guy? I don't even know him." And he ended up being my roommate for 2 years. He took the futon when he left. That's an inside joke. But
No, the futon's back there.
but anyway, he really got me out there and inspired me. So Phil, I maybe never told you how much gratitude I have for you and all the things you've opened me up, exposed, got me into understanding.
Well, I have a deep abiding sense of gratitude also, and thank you, and God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Phil. And get a good night's rest in Singapore.
Thank you.
Well, as we talk about gratitude, I am so grateful for our next guest, who has become one of our absolute favorite luminaries on the Global Peace Tribe. Her music opens our hearts, brings tears, and I was so happy that Tatiana was available to be with us again tonight. And of course, this is Tatiana Speed. I think this is maybe her 4th or 5th time on the show, and she's become one of our absolute favorites. People always say, "When's Tatiana going to be back on? We want more Tatiana." So here she is, everybody. Here's Tatiana.
Yay, I'm here. This has been an amazing show. Oh my gosh, my consciousness is like,
Right?
listening to these speakers has been elevating and transformative and just deeply impactful. I feel so in my heart and so connected to this family. Like, wow, thank you for this.
Thank you. And so this is always, because we do get all this information, and it's opportunities to listen to music like yours that helps us to integrate all of this. So what's your first song that you have for us tonight, Tatiana?
So the first song I wanted to play is kind of a personal, and I'm just going to go on gallery view because I don't want to look at myself. Okay, here we go. So this first song is, it's a personal one, but I also think it's quite universal, as art can be. It speaks to those moments of grace that can come in moments of immense adversity. For me, this occurred during a 6-year health crisis, where I was struggling very deeply. Actually, every day I was being worked, but there would be these moments of stunning beauty and clarity about why this was taking place, the higher reasons for it that would just put me in this space of trust and gratitude and love. And so it really is those moments of grace that can peek through our deep challenges as human beings. And I'm feeling it here tonight. So here we go. Rays of light shining on my face again, after struggling for so long. Strands of gold dancing across the sky. Finally a new day dawns. Oh, holy light, I pray to you with all my might, to be healed, renewed. I turned to you and you have answered me, and the light has come. The past is healed, a new day dawns, a new world is revealed, and finally I am free, at peace, free, at peace. Stepping forwards into the dawn of a new day. The clouds are gone and finally I can see the sky. limitless as far as the eye can see. The stars appear like diamonds sparkling in the deep. I could swim in the beauty. Oh, holy power, in my darkest hour I felt your grace. Oh, holy power, down on my knees I knew your face, and the light has come. The past is healed, a new day dawns, a new world is revealed, and finally I am free, at peace, free, at peace, free. I finally feel like I can live again. I am free. I finally feel I can breathe again. I am free. I finally feel like I can love again. I am free. I finally found my way home again. Find my way home again. Stepping forwards into the dawn of a new day.
In the gallery view, everybody, and let's send Tatiana our absolute love and appreciation for that beautiful, beautiful song. Just beautiful. And I'm going to put the spotlight on Eleanor Joy for a moment, because it was beautiful watching Eleanor receiving, as Pam wrote in the chat box, Pam wrote, watching Tatiana sing and Eleanor receiving is like seeing what prayers answered looks like in time. And so I want us to take a moment and just send a lot of love to Eleanor Joy, who's going through a healing journey right now. So feel all of your Global Peace Tribe friends. We love you, Eleanor Joy. We love watching you dance. We love watching you share. And we are sending you maximum grace for Eleanor Joy. Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy.
Blessings, yes.
Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eleanor Joy, for receiving. And a reminder that Tatiana has so many wonderful offerings, and you can find them on her website. And her website is her name, tatianaspeed.com. And she'll be back doing another song for us tonight, a closing song. But let's all go to tatianaspeed.com, support her, get her music. Tatiana, you're such a gem, and we really
Thank you for having me, Scott.
Where are you located, Tatiana?
Pardon?
Where are you located? Where are you based out of?
I'm based on the Sunshine Coast in British Columbia, right on the sea. It's very beautiful.
I will privately chat you because I'm going to be in British Columbia in 2 weeks. I'm invited to speak at a pair of events. I'll private chat you in a moment.
Please.
All right, Al, since you're right here, I know that you wanted to introduce Vivian, but you also suggested we all want to introduce her because we all think she's awesome. So I'm going to bring up also Sheila, because I know Sheila has a wonderful long history with this amazing next presenter.
Anna, there's such a purity in her voice. There's such a transcendental quality. It comes from another level. I was feeling it wasn't her just singing. She was she was bringing through our heart's purity. So thank you for that. I really, thank you. Okay. All right. Yes, Viviana has been a star. Sheila's a really good friend. So I'll just do a brief intro. I'm a good friend, but Sheila's a really good friend. Vivian is a walking miracle. Like Sheila's story, Vivian has quite an amazing story. How she says, and maybe it's true. I like to believe it. She's not from this planet. Her body, her being is Arcturian, and she is bringing through the vibration of that planetary race to show us what is possible for human beings. I mean, we were at little talk and things got a little heated in the discussion. She left the room because she said she couldn't be around that vibration. And we didn't even know what we were doing. And it was a great teaching for us, Vivian, because human beings can get a little caught up in themselves. And thank you. But there's a lot more Sheila has to say about Vivian. And so Sheila, please.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Vivian was born in a human hybrid, really Arcturian body capable of housing her high frequency Arcturian soul. And she's an amazing healer. She's a galactic ambassador. She's a beautiful friend. And I love you very much. She's my go-to gal. So if you guys have not had a session with Vivian, you really owe it to yourself to do it. She is above and beyond. So Vivian, love you.
Love you too, Sheila. Love you too. And Alan, thank you for this beautiful down to earth as a beautiful bridge of connection. I appreciate you as always. And it is a joy, a privilege to be back here. Of course, Scott, good to see you as well. Beautiful musical energy in all of you. I am indeed I am known as an advanced Arcturian hybrid. I am an aspect of my Arcturian avatar self. I have full consciousness of who I am. And more people have the joy to see me literally merging into my Arcturian self, whether it's been on stage in Sedona, whether it's, at the Living Like Expo or New Living Expo, everywhere I go, people are starting to awaken more, and people come to me that said, who was this 10-foot being behind you? I say, well, that was an aspect of myself. I represent a very advanced intergalactic civilization known as the Arcturian. We are master healers and master teachers. The Arcturians are known as one of the most ancient and also enlightened intergalactic civilizations interacting with the Earth. We have been involved with your quadrant of the universe, known as your solar system, for well over 3 million of years. So we do have a lot of grace, wisdom, and especially a lot of respect and love for all of you. I am here on a mission of love. It's a mission of the reascending process to the most important historical timeline that we are coexisting in right now, especially in this timeline of 2023. And the next 2 to 3 years going to be absolutely crucial for your civilization and your planet. Heart energy, it is the masterpiece of all. And like Phil mentioned about gratitude is a virtue. I'm going to tell you, every morning when I reintegrate my physical form and I'm conscious that I'm returning into the earth energy and I'm coming back into the third density, the very first thing I do is first I activate my third eye into a gentle circular movement with my middle finger, which is the healing finger. And then I said, what blessing hold this day? How can I be of service to the light today? And then I step out of bed. And as I get ready, and I am joyfully getting ready for a very busy day of healing, consultation, channeling, and more, I always ask the angelic realm, thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your presence. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And I allow this sacred virtue to be a part of every cell of my being. It's a vibrational alignment. This is why also we call the return of living by the essentials. And I'll tell you, this is very much in sync also with what I'm going to be presenting at the Conscious Life Expo in LA. I'll be doing a free lecture and a free workshop, both on Saturday and Sunday. And just to give you an idea, the workshop is going to be about universal holographic matrix activation to really allows you to step into this 12 light spectrum matrix energy that you are. And we're going to guide you step by step. And we're also going to do a lecture on the living library of light. We work a lot with the great central sun, and why we chose at this time to work with the high council of light directly from the great central sun is to consciously return to connecting with the living library of light. It is the realm of creator. And when you are in the presence of the living library of light, this is where you really start to receive upgrades, energy, very beautiful rays directly from creator of all there is. This is the transformed divine self that comes together. It is the sacred bridging between the lower self and the higher self coming together. And it is the presence of the supreme I am presence. And every time you invoke I am that I am, you literally calling into the supreme part of you that is part of creator of all there is. So it is truly a privilege to be in physical incarnation at this time. And like Alan and Sheila briefly mentioned, is because I come from a very advanced intergalactic group. We have a lot of conscious, organic assisted technology. So we have the ability to co-create a template, an holographic template capable of sustaining an entire biostructure, biofield, made with organs and bone and structure. And of course, that structure will be the seat of the consciousness that comes in. So my physical vessel has been very carefully engineered by our masters, builders from the Galactic Arcturian Council. And the goal was to allow me to have a physical vessel that really allow me to constantly emanate the pure frequencies of the Arcturian energy through our realm. Arcturus is a realm, and also other form of very pure frequencies that is transmitting back into the earth grids and the evolving multidimensional grids. We do see the great potential of humanity reaching new height of evolution. So you're starting to rediscover essential teachings, whether it's through Master Sananda and other sacred masters, whether it's ancient teaching that was brought by other groups. And we're very happy to see you reflecting more on those ancient teachings and applying them in ways that allows you to live your life in more benevolent ways. This is going to be very important. This is part of the extracting of the fear-based false matrix reality that has put down and repress human beings to the point that you feel like you're little tiny dwarfs, but in reality, you're giants of light, and you can feel it in our hearts when we say that. So reversing the fear matrix polarity, fragmentation, polarization, and returning into a place of unification, harmonization comes from every day. How do you live? Where do you expend your light the most to? Where are you engaging your thoughts? Are you present? Where are you investing your light and your universal peace? Those are extremely powerful gifts, and they're far too precious to be just giving away to anything. So let's disengage from the battle of the minds that oftentimes I see online or even in the spiritual community. Let's disengage from these false mental construct and living life in the sacred pulse, the vibration pulse of life, whether it's with Gaia, trees, animals, yourself, your loved ones, your friends, neighbors, and stranger that you meet on the streets. Remember, ultimately, everything is an invitation to awaken. Even in the midst of the most mundane activity, as you call it, everything is a sacred presence. So I've seen extraordinary people reaching their potential even in the midst of something that they won't even think about. So we're here to really supporting significantly the re-ascension timeline, and you are well anchored in those timelines right now. We can assure you that this is exactly where you're heading. This is exactly where the organic energy are coming in. It is really much a time of sacred presence. This is what we call the cultivation of higher frequencies, the embodiment of different aspects of self, recognizing that you are a multidimensional beings, and then all of your lives or past experiences coexist with you. There is no more past, present, future. We are shifting how we perceive time to more into a universal consciousness. And you can tell that as we speak as a we, as a conduit and a direct emissary for my Arcturian delegations. We are many speaking to you as one. It's like the omnipresence of many beings who are so happy and overjoyed to connect with you. And now, with everyone's permission, we would like to conduct a very short and yet very potent breathing exercise to really brings you into the frequencies. And the reason for this as a gift is that when we speak, my throat chakra creates very specific algorithm of light that you will receive as seed of integration and activation. Do we have everyone permission? Alan says yes. Alan says so. Then we're good to go. Thank you, everyone. Already. So let's make yourself very comfortable. Thank you for closing your eyes. And let's just start by bringing all aspect of you. Just feel that you are calling all aspect of you. Just choose to be present. I'm going to start by engaging a gentle, conscious breath through your heart center, opening your heart energetic field and activating the secret wisdom and intelligence of your heart. So imagine or feel that you're redirecting your breath to the gateway of your heart, breathing in light and exhaling light. And allow the intelligence of the light to work with your body template to clear your mind, your subconscious mind, to clear your field of absorption, as well as your abstract field of history. Just breathe to the grace and the beauty of your heart, expanding light and activating inner energy. Beautiful. And as you keep breathing in and out through the grace and the power of the light, expanding your own energetic field of your heart, expanding into your own auric field, you become a luminous matrix of light. And this luminous matrix of light nourishes all the ley lines of your body, the sacred branch that comes from also your nervous systems, your lymphatic system, which are the sacred gateway of communication to the universe and also with Gaia. So let's take a moment just to feel your sacred presence as if you were growing taller in your light. Just feel that you're shifting into a giant of light, a divine giant of light. Beautiful. We're going to keep the space open And now we call forth to your higher self. We call forth to the guardians of light, to the interstellar council and the planetary councils, the universal mind of Prime Creator. Imagine that your luminous field become part of a sacred golden web of light, expanding in the multiverse, becoming one with all there is, and all there is one with you. It is a complex universal matrix of life. Feel and welcome the omnipotence and omnipresence of Creator intelligence, Creator love, and Creator presence. It is reflecting as you are an aspect of Creator of all. Remember this divine truth within you, allowing ancient memory connectors to activate ancient memories at a cellular level and into the quantum field of your DNA. Just keep reading to the grace of your light. Stay present. Stay with us. We're now going to bring the interweaving of pure healing frequencies of love into this universal matrix of life, enhancing your own energetic structures of light within you, also activating the ancient memories of the original human celestial template. Just take a moment to truly experience this sacred space together. This is what we call experiencing oneness, the cultivation of the cosmic eternal presence. To feel oneness is to remember what it is like, even in your solo body of light. And now we invite your consciousness to gently return to your heart center, reintegrating into the gateway of your heart, and to feel for a moment that you are fully aligning in consciousness in your body template, your sacred vehicle of light on this earth, connecting also with the beauty and the heartbeat of Mother Terra that is also resonating into the Schumann resonance and all the electromagnetic fields. And to the invocation of your I am presence, I am whole and complete now. I am whole and complete now. And as you're reintegrating your beautiful body structure on this earth, on the third density, completely refreshed, balanced, and aligned with all aspect of self and beyond, let's take a deep breath in and release. Beautiful. The process is complete in 3, 2, and 1. You are now welcome to gently open your eyes and return in your space. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you, Vivian.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to go to gallery view, everybody. Let's send Vivian some absolute appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
That was powerful.
if that's what Arcturus is like, then we're going, Scott.
Well said, Alan. Well said. We're simply really much what we do is sharing soul essence of who we are. And when you start to experience what true Arcturian are in their wisdom, in their infinite love, there's no mistaking them for anybody else. You know when you recognize one, you know when you're in the presence of one, and you know that we're here side by side with you. So we hold you in this most sacred light. We know who you are. And this is beyond what's called the third density personality matrix that we're stepping out more and more. So it's truly a privilege to be on mission. And thank you for your light. It's a partnership.
Sheila, that's what you recognize because you've also were part of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had many lifetimes there, sitting at the feet of the masters.
I want to read a few of the comments that have come in on the chat box. Ray and Sahat write, "My eyes are open, but I'm not back in my body yet. That was utterly divine." Laura Chamberlain writes, "Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Vivian." Tatiana, our muse, writes, "That was utterly incredible. I feel transformed." And those are just a few of the comments coming in. Andrew and Connie write, "Thank you, Vivian. All of creation is awaiting the opening of the human heart and the release of the love contained therein." And George Noble has a question, actually. Are there two Arcturian races assisting us? One is 3 to 4 foot tall, described in We the Arcturians by Dr. Ruth. So are there different Arcturian races, Vivian?
It's a great question, Scott. And this is a question that has been asked to me multiple times. And I do honor and respect other authors, channels, teachers who've been working to different degrees with a multitude of intergalactic groups, including ours, the Arcturians. One thing that I can tell you from personal first-hand experiences with my people is that I've never seen very short Arcturian, 3 feet tall or 4 feet tall. Myself in my Arcturian avatar persona, I'm at least 10 feet tall, and father is at least 12 to 15 feet tall. And also when they come visiting my human family, who are also part of this amazing project to bring me on the planet, every time I ask them, I ask my parents, my human parents, "So have you seen father?" They said, "Oh yes, he just as tall as the ceiling." And so it is possible that there might be a hybrid race or different variation, and they present themselves this way. One thing I want to say about the Arcturians is that even in ancient history, people were mistaking them for angels because of the ethereal quality about them. And we have the capability to adapt our holographic projection shape so that it's more comfortable to use. So we're 5 feet or present ourselves in different ways. We can do that. It's all about the messages that matters the most. It's all about the core essence of what we come to do. But I'm sure that, everyone has their own experiences. And I think it's absolutely beautiful when we bring our pearl of wisdom together.
Beautiful. Thank you for that beautiful response. And I want to encourage everybody to get more of Vivian. And her website is infinitehealingfromthestars.com. So for everybody watching on Facebook, I'm going to say it again slowly. infinitehealingfromthestars.com is Vivian's website. And I encourage people to go to her press area. And that's where you can find her publications, including a really powerful new book. So again, we click publications. It'll take just a moment. There it is. The Extraterrestrial Species Almanac. Wow, that's something I want to get. Legends of Syria and Atlantis, and Ancient Intergalactic Wisdom, Journey of an Arcturian Hybrid. And that, I think, is the most recent one. So you can learn more about these books. Just so many beautiful offerings that you're providing, Vivian. Wisdom of the Silver Sisters. My gosh, thank you so much for your dedication
You're
to.
welcome. We are also part of the denomination for the Conscious Life Expo. The book series that has been reached the #1 on Amazon, it's a collaborative efforts which gathers between 35 to at least 45 authors. And we just recently get together, and the level of wisdom, the love and friendship that brings generation of authors all the way from early 30s to 80s together. It is truly phenomenal. And so I know we love Alan and we love his book, and I'm part of this. I love also this book. It's very unique. And the other one is also
Before we go to
a
the other one,
collaboration.
before you go to
Okay.
that, let me just show people where they can get this book on Amazon. And we'll go to
Yes.
that in a moment, but I'll put the link in the chat. But if you go to Amazon, it's called Golden Wisdom of Love, Legends, and Legacies. And a tremendous number of beautiful authors that are part of this incredible anthology series. So, okay, please go ahead, Vivian.
No, thank you so much, Scott. And I was just going to say also that we launched our new 3-month program called the Octurian Healing Arts. It's a very experiential, multidimensional, conscious way of approaching healing. And it's been absolutely amazing. We are currently in the first group. It's the first beta test group. And we have like over people from all over the world, like 8 countries that came together very naturally, organically. It's a 3-level program over 3 months. And we really brings you step by step into the conscious way of understanding the whole language and the complexity of who you are, whether it's your body template, level 1, with the body upgrades to the light body embodiment. And also we go into the soul matrix, and then of course the quantum level with the DNA and the galactic codes. So this is something amazing, and we're going to have group number 2 going to be launched on Thursday, May 11. I'm going to update on my website. If you want to sign up, I'm going to offer also a special discount. So it's just another way to truly help and support people. And that's not counting the thousands of healing sessions I do every year. And I'm celebrating my 10th anniversary as a public figure now, 10 years already. So it's absolutely, it's just the beginning, and we have so much more. We have new program with a quantum avatar level that's going to be offered, launching more later on in the year. And I'm going to be traveling all over. I just got invited to go to a Dolphin Well conference to speak there with the Lemurian energy in the Laguna Beach in June. I'm going to be in Mount Shasta. We're going to be in Maui in February with the Stargate experience with Pragit and Julian. We're going to be traveling to the UK with Neil, Alan, Joan of Angels, and many others. And we're also going to be doing a retreat in the fall in Sedona for the fall equinox. So much, much more to come. We have an infinite library of free meditation on the Ascension Library on my website, and we're constantly developing a new material and support to really help everyone on their unique journey. So much love.
Thank you so much, Vivian. And again, if you go to her website and click on events, that's where you can learn more about the different conferences and events that she's doing. And of course, once again, there's the Conscious Life Expo. I look forward to meeting you in person there. That'll be fun. And we'll be broadcasting. If you can stick around, there are a lot of questions now coming in. So I am accumulating the questions that people are going to have for our authors. So for those that are still with us, obviously this is going to be one of those shows that's going to go a little bit later. We still have a couple of other people to hear from, and then we'll take our questions that are coming in. But we're going to take a little break now to do something very special. Now, Neil Gar is someone that we know and love because of all that he does with Portal to Ascension, but he's also an incredible wordsmith. And so I want to invite everybody to just take a couple of breaths get ready, because Neil is going to take us on a journey in a way that Neil does just so beautifully. Take it away, brother.
Hello, everybody. So good to be here with you all. Vivian, thank you so much for that. Every time I hear you talk, I feel the frequencies. First time I ever felt a connection to star beings or even heard about star beings was Arcturus. And for ages, I had a huge connection to Arcturus, still do. And so Arcturus really is home for me. And just to have the Arcturian energy here, really just to start out what I'm about to share is perfect. And what I'm going to do today is I actually just got my music album for poetry completely mastered, and it's going to be launched in about a week from now. And it's going to be on Spotify. My name is MC Resonance, Neil Gore, aka MC Resonance. And my poetry album has been done with classical music in the background. So I have live classical music, violin, piano, and it's called Planet Earth. And what I've done with that is I've also created a book of the poetry that I'm also launching in a week on Amazon and a bunch of other platforms. So I'm going to read from the book technically, and we're going to go on a journey. And this book is called Planet Earth, and basically it's going to be a series of books. And the first one's Planet Earth. Then there's going to be the Orion's Belt. There's going to be the Anunnaki, the Ascension, the Ether, the Void, and each of them will have a good amount, maybe like 20 to 30 poems, spoken word pieces specifically on that topic. And so the slogan is music from the next dimension. And the first book is Planet Earth. So what I'm going to do is read the paragraph to start out and just probably get into 3 or 4 of the poems here. But before I do that, I kind of want to tell you what the titles are, because I want to just read through it. But I think it would actually be much more beneficial if I told you what the titles are and just a quick preface of exactly what it represents before I do that. So after, I'll read the paragraph, the beginning paragraph. The first one's called The Fifth World. And this one's an invocation to the shifting, the cycles of time, the fifth world, entering a new reality and to a new octave of existence. Then the second poem is called Astral Travel. And astral travel is a journey from the black hole in the center of the galaxy, the void, incarnating into multiple realities and eventually ending up on Earth, because this is the Planet Earth album. So the invocation, the journey from the black hole to Earth, then we go into the mission. What is the mission? What are we here to do, right? The mission of Earth. Followed by, I think we'll get 4 or 5 done actually here, followed by 5 sensory being. Because then we come to Earth and we limit our ranges of frequencies and stuck within this bandwidth where we only feel that we have 5 senses. And then I think the last one I'll probably get to share here is Empower Thyself. And there's 10 actual tracks on this book and this album, and it'll be launched on my YouTube channel, Portal to Ascension, MC Resonance YouTube as well. So let's get into it, guys. First of all, before I begin, let's just all take a moment. We're going to take one deep inhale together in just a moment here, not right now. Just breathe normally. We're going to take a deep inhale, and then we're going to expand it out of our hearts. And when we do that, we're going to imagine our heart aura, our heart coherence, the energetic field that's emanating out of our heart, encompassing the entire universe and all galaxies within it. And as we do that for the ancient galactic wisdom, we're tapping in not to only our Earth, not to only our system, our galaxy, but also our brethren, our kin, our connection to the entire cosmos and the universe and our neighbors in other galaxies, really just putting our heart around all of these beings and just giving gratitude for the simple fact that we exist. So just breathe normally in this moment. And on your next inhale, take a deep inhale in through the nose and out through the heart. Expanding it out to the whole cosmos. Planet Earth, music from the next dimension. As we arrive on planet Earth, we traverse the cosmos through multiple incarnations and cycles, dimensionally jumping and shifting from frequencies of experience into others, on a quest for awareness to know ourselves. Together, we will embark on a journey, the greatest story ever told. How did we get to this place? What is the universe? Who are we? Where did we come from? And what is the true potential of humanity? This collection of poetry is the first in a series of spoken word from the next dimension, brought to this density to pave the way for what is to come. And so it was written. The fifth world. Meditate and levitate. Waves of frequencies resonate higher. I'm connected to the provider, source of cosmic energy. We're going to be one single entity, expansion remedied. Oneness must breathe. Exhale and let free. Consciousness to be. Experiences of you and me. Souls of interdimensional beings to feel, hear, and see this third dimensional planetary existence. All time can be found in one instance in this realm of linearity, atoms in anarchy, quantum polarity. The epitome of creation, facing our egos, acquiring patience, and waiting to let go of our nations that will join the Federation of Souls, that will take us to the fifth world. And we will join the Federation of Souls that will take us to the fifth world. The fifth world. Astral travel. Astral travel. Vibrating high at the center of the galaxy. Rematerialized etheric energy, dropping in density, increasing in complexity. To the ends of the spiral I shall go. Planets form all around. I see a water world in the system of soul. My soul speculate in this illusion, a spacesuit made of skin, into a polarized reality of duality, oneness, and sin. Carbon base, I will join the crystalline children. I slowly descend through the ozone. I will be born soon, so I enter a womb. My birth cycle almost ends. You see, I rode the unity wave into this dimension, a fabricated fallacy. I forgot when time became linear. Masculine-based society, suppressing her. Feminine energy creating stargates and other etheric tools going through the wormhole, spinning around like a whirlpool, here to overrule the external in this earth school. From my eyes have finally lifted the wool. I reincarnated into this planet, November 17th, 1982. And now we're on Earth, part of the cycles of time, unlocking and uncovering our mission to reconnect to the divine. Live life to the fullest. Each day, seconds, they turn into minutes. Time passes by. Animals and leaves die, browning by the seasons. Growing and planting seeds again is what all men and women are destined to do. In order to continue to live the life that we choose, the sun shines light as we move through heaven's tunnels and tubes, wormholes, niches, and grooves, navigating existence so we can enter the womb. In gestation, I am elation, exhilaration, and patience creates balance in this wasteland of nuclear pollution. My observation of creation is that we're all heading in the same destination. Millennia of intergalactic wars can't stop the frequency that we're all in store for, so I spit from my core of my lost, fragmented soul, reclaiming pieces I left in this world. The carrot in front of me, the elusive pearl. I remember. I remember. I remember. I came here before. Just one MC, energetically emanating empathy, connected to the fire within me where it became pure energy, an allergy towards this world of anarchy, amnesia and this fallacy, anesthesia to numb out the insanity, overstimulation leading to apathy, speak out against the status quo. Accusations of blasphemy. The gravity of this third dimensional reality eventually causes atrophy, physical and emotional bankruptcy. So I travel the galaxy to release all this agony, rearrange the anatomy to avoid the catastrophe and achieve cosmic morality. Time to embrace the duality is the only analogy that supersedes all we need, just so that we can let go and breathe. Just let go. And breathe. 5th sensory being. The sun shines brightly. Solar flare activity creating cycles of lucid dreams. An etheric beam taking 8 seconds to arrive. Asking God, am I alive? Pinch myself, water in my face. This has to be reality. My thoughts are encased in physicality. Constructs, limitation, I debunk conspiracies, agendas, and pain. The 5 senses, they've limited my frame of reference. Blessed with so much reverence for all I encounter. This is my own resurrection. When you look in the sky and see your own reflection, you know you're heading in the right direction. I fought my entire life just to be present. Now, I'm here in the moment. What is the next step to take? Embrace the polar opposite and don't fake myself anymore. I'm real to the core, 100% intention, no doubt, and heading back to source. No need to force your own evolution. Etheric resolution, the destination has already been chosen. It's the journey that counts. With peace, I'm out. With peace, I'm out. Empower thyself. Take a deep breath in, everybody. This is the last piece I'm going to share here. Let's take a deep breath in together. Expand it out through the heart into the cosmos. The moment draws near. For years, we've been purging all fears, letting go of the old energies, making room for the new frequencies. I know we all feel these on some level. Higher multidimensional entities embracing our galactic families, emissaries of unconditional love. The one vibration that fits all creation like a glove. I know, everyone, sometimes this incarnation, it can seem tough. With Masons illuminating manipulations, facing, tasting, wasting our life away. We must remember the lessons that we're here to play. We chose to be here today. Nothing external to you, to your God self you pray. There's only one speck of light, experiencing itself in multiple forms within our sight, taking us to new heights. So go against the norm, no longer conform. Where one transitions, there's no reason to mourn. No scorn, take out the thorn. The crystalline children are now being born. There is no devil waiting for you with horns. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. The one vibration showering us descended straight from densities above. We must stand up and say enough and take our power back. With peace and understanding, there's no reason to attack and energize fear as they are reflections of us. Time to trust our brothers and sisters. This all is a self-imposed test. So don't worry, you got the job. Put all your concerns to rest. Through the darkness, the light will firmly nest into the dimension that is next. The moment is now to resurrect the Christ consciousness. The moment is now to resurrect the Christ consciousness. Thank you, everybody.
I want to invite everybody to just stay quiet and present for a moment. And let's hold that very, very beautiful vision. What it really feels like for each of us in our own imagining into the Christ consciousness. Gallery view, and it's beautiful to see everybody's faces as they kind of tune in their own unique ways. Neil, thank you so much. That was amazing, just amazing. And again, a reminder that Neil, in his other lifetime, he's, obviously there's Neil, the great poet, but in his other lifetime, he's a hell of a producer. And this amazing Ancient Galactic Wisdom Conference, part one was today, part two will be tomorrow. And Neil, actually have one of the people who participated in your conference, Krista Collins. I'm going to pop her on. There she is. Krista, you were there today. How was your experience of day one? You muted, love.
You're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, we're not hearing you.
You might need to change your microphone.
Krista said to me it was incredible for her, but maybe she'll say it herself.
Yeah, it doesn't show that you're muted, but maybe go to your audio settings next to the mute button and pop on the right microphone. Alan, what's it like for you collaborating with Neil since we're talking about this amazing conference you guys are doing?
I just spent 2 months in Mexico with Neil, and he is so excited about what he's doing every day. It's work in a sense. It's fun. It's play. It's community. There's no separation between, in a way, all our lives and our work. Work is our life. So networking and playing and planning out this year, what Portal to Ascension has planned is an epic year for 2023. We're going to be at the Conscious Life Expo, all of us, and then we're doing a big event in San Diego with people like Linda Moulton Howe, Adam Apollo, JJ Hertag, Vivian will be there, Sheila will be there. Who else is going to be in San Diego, Neil?
Robert Schock, I think you already said the Hertags, Michael Cremo, Robert Edward Grant, Jenna Layden. We have amazing people.
Ancient civilizations to the future. So we're encompassing all things with this portal. The first event we're doing this year. Then we're off to.
Okay, slow down. So I want to, because for our people who are watching on Facebook, I want them to be able to track this. So we'll discuss each of these
one at a time. Yeah. So we have ascensionconference.com is the one we're talking about.
Okay, so I've got people on right now the page for tomorrow. And if we're at Portal to Ascension, you go to events, go to online events, and that's where you'll find the Ancient Galactic Wisdom Conference that you can still sign up for, get the video recording from today. Now I'm going to where it says PTA, Portal to Ascension Conference San Diego. So now go ahead and tell us about this, guys.
Thank you. Scroll down, you see who's going to be present there.
Everybody. Holy Moses.
Adam Apollo, Linda Moulton, Carolyn Corey, Barbara Lamb, Phil Gruber might even show up, Geraldine Orozco. A lot of these people have been on your show, highlighted by Larissa Stowe. And Neil, talk about how this is the first live conference you're doing.
Yeah. So the last live event we did was in October 2019. Which was this event. It was the second annual one. We went online for 3 years. We have our regularly scheduled programming, which is 100 plus online conferences a year anyway. And so we did, megalithic online events. I did a 5-day Portal to Ascension free summit. We had 8,800 people signed up for that. So now extremely excited to go back to live events. And I thought that we were going to start with just one this year. And we ended up scheduling so many. So we have the San Diego one, April 21, 22, 23 at the Marina Village Conference Center in San Diego, right next to SeaWorld, looking over the ocean there. It's a really beautiful spot. And, we're just basically calling all the community together.
Test.
Huge networking event. And then we also have, and Scott, is it okay if I jump ahead to other events and just?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just want people to track it, and then we'll bring Krista back on because she's got her audio working. But where do you want to go to next?
All right. So for San Diego, guys, the theme is Humanity Awakens because that's what's happening. We're waking up. And this is just a next level connection event. The information is going to be shared. But, the way I like to create conferences, it's like a theater show. It's like not only entertainment, it's education, but it's a lot of entertainment. And even in the pauses, we have music. 2018, 2019, we had a 30-person didgeridoo experience both times. It was the most epic didgeridoo experience ever. And the music is going to be on par like that this time as well. So it's just a really exciting time to come together. 3 full days, started with 2 days, ended up being 2.5 days, and now it's 3 full days. And we might need to add some more to it because just the energy behind everything. Yeah.
It's remarkable, the people that you've got there. I mean, that's like the Conscious Life Expo part 2. I mean, really, I'm not exaggerating. I'm kind of blown away. How are you going to squeeze all them into 3 days is going to be
I know it was a challenge for sure. Ellen and I worked out the schedule together.
I think the thing that is important, one of the things that are important is that Linda Moulton Howe is going to be there. And she's gotten inside information that in April of 2023, we're going to get some really big news about the possibility of life on other planets. Of course, we know that we are the Galactics, but it's when it goes mainstream, we might all be together when it really hits the fan.
Yeah.
And but
Right. And then, Alan, let's speak about Glastonbury and Crystal Skulls, if you can, just for the next few minutes. So we're also going to be in Glastonbury, and that started out as a trial event for one day event. I was like, I've always wanted to do something in England. I was born in England. I moved to the US when I was 12, and I had a download in 2008 when Portal to Ascension came to me. It was like a 20-year package, basically, on a lot of information, things that we've ended up doing. And the feeling was, when I go back to England and do an event there, a cycle is going to shift and a new thing's going to begin. So we're going to Glastonbury, Heart Chakra Center of the World. Started with a one-day event. Now it's a 4-day event with another day for a whole tour of Avalon. So it's like a retreat, a conference, but beyond all that, it's grid work. We're all going there to tap into the heart frequency of that area. And through the awareness that we share, we're going to be, doing grid work in that area, sending that frequency out to the rest of the world. And Alan, do you want to share a bit about that too?
Hey guys, where do I find it? I'm
AscensionGlastonbury.com.
Okay.
I want to say it's also the land where the crop circles are every summer. It's been gone down a few years, but every year there's a few crop circles in that area of Wiltshire and Glastonbury. And there's also the stone circles there, Stonehenge, Avebury, it's not far from there. So, and the tour is one of the most powerful places I've been. It's this ancient structure on the top of what I think is a man-made hill. So we're going to take a little pilgrimage up there and tune into one of the core earth grid lines. This is Glastonbury. It's August 11th to the 13th.
Yeah. So we started with one day, and then all of a sudden, like tens of speakers started contacting me saying, I heard you guys are going to Glastonbury. I need to be there. So the energy of this event is just so powerful. So many of our friends from the US, Laura Eisenhower, Rob Potter, Vivienne, are flying thousands of miles just to be a part of this conference. So
Wow.
it's truly a celebration going to happen there.
Victoria Reynolds, who's our next speaker coming up in a bit, is going to be there. So we are merging the cultures. It's another way to bring this community to an international forum and merge this planetary civilization that Vivian is pushing for, from her planetary civilization to our planetary civilization. So it's the next level. And then on that same website is the epic capstone, the Egyptian tour with JJ and Desiree Hurtak in September. There's still space left, but this is going to be a time of initiation and activation in those great star chambers. Can you find that on the website?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. Yes. September 6th to the 16th. It's 10 days in Egypt. And we're going to first start out between the spheres of the Sphinx, and we're going to do an activation there. And then we're going to go to all the great temples up and down the Nile. The Nile is like the spine and the temples are like the chakra points. So we're going to each temple. On the final day, we get to the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid as the activation of the crown. And this was the ancient tasks of the initiates when their final test was to be in that King's Chamber and connect with that star family. But because the vibration is quickening now, we are connecting, but still it'll be an activation. And JJ Hurtak, I'm actually sitting in his home by his altar, and he's already been ascended. So I think some of these frequencies are really going to come online for whoever goes. This is the path of the initiate. And Neil, I know you haven't been there before. Are you excited about this?
Oh, I'm beyond excited. Yeah. The energy for what's happening in Egypt. We really honestly feel everybody that's coming to Egypt has a life together there. And that's how I feel about Glastonbury too. We're not just doing these conferences and people are coming. We're literally calling back our soul family that we've incarnated with at these events, and we're going to do some activation together. So we're even going to have a Zoom call beforehand to do a past life regression of our time in Egypt, like super intentional with everything we're doing.
So for that website, go to Egypt Ascension Retreat.com. EgyptAscensionRetreat.com. Sign up because it really is filling up, and we'd love to have as many of our soul family there, but whoever shows up will be our soul family. So it's really good. And then the last event that me and Neil and Portal to Ascension New Realities is planning is a Crystal Skull event in Sedona. November 17th to the 19th. And if you've ever been around a crystal skull, you know that's consciousness to consciousness. You put your head up to these ancient skulls and you're getting immediate download. So we're going to have the Mitchell Hedges skull there, which is probably the most famous skull. Jody Sirota is bringing her jade skull. We're trying to get Max there, who's the other ancient crystal skull. We're getting this woman Shavanta, who has a crystal skull. So it's a gathering of these, I would say, extraterrestrial consciousnesses that have been housed in these morphogenetic forms that are here to give messages. And what better place to do that than Sedona, Arizona? So what's the weather?
Let's all just breathe. That's a lot.
A lot, huh? I was going to skip the last one because I knew it was a lot.
That's a lot. I'm just wanting to acknowledge those that are watching on all the Facebook pages. If you can, join Global Peace Tribe. Come into the Zoom room where you can get all these links. Because tonight, there's so many links to all the amazing things that these presenters are doing. I mean, you're looking at the real keepers of galactic wisdom. And of course, I'm sure many people are feeling called to Glastonbury or to Egypt or to Sedona or to San Diego. I mean, every one of these events you put together are amazing. And I want to say I've been to Glastonbury 4 times. It is right up there with Sedona and Machu Picchu as far as powerful. The moment you're there, you're like, whoa. So highly recommend all these events. Highly recommend coming into our Zoom room. Again, just go to globalpeacetribe.com, register. You get all the links to all of our shows, including tonight. And you can get all these links. And Krista's got her audio working. So in a moment, we're going to go to Omashar Music just to digest all of this. But Krista, let's try it again.
Test.
Your experience was like today.
Is that good?
You're great.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Wow. Today was incredible. And I just major kudos to Alan and you, Scott, and Neil, what you do to put this together to make it easy for us to access this wisdom and information and bringing everyone together. That is such an undertaking every week, I know, for you, Scott, and then to bring these incredible people together. So I just want to acknowledge what you're doing for this community and, for the world at large, who is awakening to this, and to have it all recorded and how technology is working for us so they can go find the archives, right? So I just really want to acknowledge that. But to me, one of my comments is just being in that conversation today. And I'm just always so interested in the mystical, and I always have been drawn to, the UFO world and all of those things, and just had a ton of different questions, knowing that there was a bridge between the science and spirituality. And of course, now we know that that's true. We can actually prove it. And so I love that we're normalizing the conversation. When Debbie was speaking, Debbie Solaris today, talking about the history of how the humanoids came to this planet, and, talking about different galactic wars and, the Lyrans and the Andromedans. And I mean, it was just so fascinating to know that there's a history, and that also, as people are waking up, or people are really tuned into their skills or their gifts and abilities, they are connecting. And that's where we can reach out to each other to hear this wisdom. What I'm receiving from my guides and my teams and my star family is different from the next person. So I think it's great to bring it all together. And I mean, I'm really into the topic of DNA, and hearing Chris Grissom, is that right, Alan?
Yes.
Yeah. With the galactic DNA activation. Wow. So, and I mean, I started on this path many years ago, but Neil, it was your Pleiadian conference back in November that I attended, the 2-day. That really just triggered, a huge awakening in me around star family. So I'm just super grateful and just have nothing but great things to say. And just to continue the conversation tonight, wow. So thank you. I do have a few questions, but I'm just going to limit to one because I know we have another speaker coming on. So my question to those who have spoken tonight is, I get my information through meditation and different modalities that I work with my higher chakra system to to provide healing services to my clients and friends and family. But I'm always curious about contact. You know, Neil, when you saw the Pleiadians actually in your room, when we did that meditation during that conference, or, you know, you had contact. I'm always so interested in the mystical of having that experience of contact. So my question is, should we be asking for contact? And of course, with the highest and greatest good of being able to support, you know, the ascension. And is that something we should be asking for? And if so, how? So that would be my question to the panel.
I kind of
Thank
brought
you.
Vivian up because I think that should be a good person to start with that response.
Thank you, Vivian.
Of course, with pleasure. Great question, Krista. Now the question is, should we seek or ask for contact? At this point, I would say it's more an invitation of, do you have a desire to consciously reconnect with your step brothers and sisters? It's more in terms of what is the true intentions you have behind that desire to reconnect. It's very much of a reconnection. It's a part of you. If you look at human beings, and like right in the genetic pool, the diversity of your own DNA, you have so many intergalactic connections within you. So it's more of reactivating your own galactic soul ancestry connections. So it's really much about higher consciousness, connecting and reaching out to higher consciousness. The quality of your intentions, the opening of your heart, the quality of your awareness will determine the quality of the interaction that you wish to initiate. So I feel that right now, at this time, after we've received so much during this amazing Global Tribe event, I feel like it's a beautiful way to answer that question. And I hope that resonates with you, Krista.
It does. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I just want to add to that, Krista. It's not should we, but we are that. There is really no separation between contact. I always say we are the extraterrestrials. Our is not of Earth. We didn't evolve from the mud, but we descended into form, and we're non-local. I teach that in my remote viewing class. So making contact is like breathing. It's an innate part of our essential being. We're in contact with each other, with the earth, and with the infinite realms that are all around us. So I'm excited by it.
Yeah, that's a great reminder that there isn't the separation. And thank you for that, because I think sometimes we put them on a pedestal. And I know one of the topics today was also that, you know, they see us and our value and how we can support them and, you know, sending our love and our light to their realm. So thank you so much. Great to be here, Scott. And I love this whole tribe so much.
Oh, it's great to have you with us, Krista.
Yeah.
Krista's one of my favorite co-hosts. She's co-hosted on many of the shows of Global Peace Tribe, and hopefully she'll be co-hosting again with us soon.
My pleasure.
Well, Tatiana Speed is going to play another number for us. And again, boy, there's just so much to integrate. And that's why I really like to have music in our shows, because we're getting so much information and people are, you know, having to decide, do I go to Egypt? Do I go to Glastonbury? Do I go to San Diego? Do I call upon the Galactic family to come visit me? You know, there's a lot to integrate. And so I'm really grateful for Tatiana and Omashar. So I'm going to go to Tatiana now for her second song of the night. And where are you, Tatiana? You got to turn your camera on, please.
I am here.
There you are. Now you got your camera on. Okay.
Wow, this has been what an amazing. I'm just totally digesting, so I'm excited to dive into this song. But I gotta say that poem, that series of poems, changed my DNA structure. I think it was so powerful. So this song is about coming home to ourselves, to this earth, to this cosmos. And I hope you guys enjoy. For too long, too many people have been left homeless. For too long, we haven't seen enough progress. I'm just going to turn off the delay. For too long, exiled, displaced, and alienated, people walk this earth devastated. For too long, we've lived in separation, forgotten our true nation, this earth the home to all future generations. Cut off from life, cut off from each other, we've forgotten nature, our only mother. This disconnect is our deepest wound. Towards wholeness, we must reattune. Whole life, whole person, whole system, all cultures, one planet. If you feel this truth, then let's stand for it. Let's reclaim home as the destination. Choose inclusion over separation. And build a refuge, a sanctuary, a place of healing that can nurture and support all beings. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of It starts within. It starts with me. It starts with you. Can we turn to ourselves and see ourselves anew? What do we love? What do we cherish? For what do we stand on this beautiful planet, this sacred land? It starts with community, creation, culture. Can we build together, my sister, my brother? It starts right here, right now. Put the seeds in the ground until life springs up all around and we can walk through our garden, this home that we make. Together we change humanity's fate, and from the local to the global, from the I to the we, from the north to the south, from the west to the east, all cultures, all borders, all peoples, all life, we can come together and ignite a home for all to which all belong. This is the prayer, this is the song. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. One world, one home, one heart, one life, all peoples, all cultures now. One world, one home, one heart, one life, all people, all cultures now. Let's go home. We are going home. Let's build a home. We are going home. Homecoming, we are all becoming who we need to be to hold off this catastrophe, down on our knees with prayers for peace, for the indivisible human family. Around the world, feel the hearts opening. Around the world, feel the hands extending. Around the world, feel this movement happening. All cultures, all peoples, one planet, one home.
What a beautiful reminder. Let's go to gallery view, everybody, and send some beautiful appreciations to Tatiana, not just for the song, but that incredibly important message. And, one of the people, Tatiana, in our Zoom room has been talking about how she received a cry for help from somebody who's feeling suicidal. And as a coach, I have been dealing with too many people these days that are feeling suicidal, having suicidal fantasies. And so your song is helping us to remember, let's all remember to reach out to people that might be lonely, that might be struggling. We're very blessed. We have each other. We have this growing global peace tribe, portal to ascension, new realities. But there's a lot of people that we know that don't feel this quality of community and connection and are missing that. So your song speaks to that very, very beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This has been a very powerful. I mean, I've had amazing shows with you, Scott, that have been elevating, but this one, there's a very special frequency coming through. I mean, I'm feeling it in my cells, in my whole body, and it's been really powerful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tatiana. And I look forward to meeting you in person in a couple of weeks.
I
That's
can't
amazing.
wait. So magical to have these incredible relationships online and then to finally like be able to meet in person is very special.
And it's happening. I mean, but certainly, everybody get down to Los Angeles for the Conscious Life Expo. Then the following month is going to be the next Global Peace Tribe Retreat. We haven't even talked about that tonight. That's going to be the last week of March. And then San Diego in April. Really, that I'm very impressed with what you guys have put together. So, and I'll be up in Victoria, British Columbia, doing a couple of events, live events. So more and more we are able to see each other and connect with each other in person, which is really, really beautiful. All right, we do have one more presenter, and I really appreciate her patience. I'm looking forward to meeting her. It's my initial experience meeting Victoria Reynolds, and to tell us all about her, here's Alan.
Thank you, Scott. I do have to say, comment on what Tatiana just said. Something else is happening here tonight that is beyond the ordinary, beyond the dramas. When Tatiana or Omashar sings, they're not just singing songs for entertainment. These are higher levels of consciousness that are beyond the human, if we want to call that conversations. There's another level coming in here. When Vivian talks or Hope does those waveforms, there's more being added to our conscious matrix with this sort of conversation. So it's an up leveling of interactions. And I want to say Victoria Reynolds really holds that frequency, as she is really a sweet, kind person, but she's also calls herself an oracle of freedom. She's an angelic walk-in. I mean, if she ever tells you about her life, it's been quite intense. And where she was to where she is now is this embodiment of these higher consciousnesses, the Elohim of freedom, she calls it. But tonight she's going to be sharing and maybe channeling even some of these Elohim ancient creator messages. And she, like the work she channels, is at service for humanity. Like all of us here, we've really come together because we know we're part of a bigger picture. We're all cells in the human body. So Victoria, I'm so happy. Thanks for your patience. And you look radiant without even having to say anything. You so thank you. Unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Thank you for that reminder. And thank you, Ellen, for inviting me to be here. And it's so amazing to see so many of you. Some of you I've known for a while. I had the pleasure of hanging out in Mexico with Alan and Neil a couple of weeks ago and experience Neil's musical performance. That was fun. And thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm really, really honored to be here tonight. This has been a beautiful, beautiful experience. The presenters who I know I'm going to be meeting in person in a few weeks at the Conscious Life Expo, and throughout the year, I'm actually in some of these other events. The San Diego event I'll be at the speaking at the Conscious Life Expo, and I have a speaker booth, all 6 of my books, and at the Sedona Ascension Conference, and then at Neil's conference in San Diego, and hopefully at the Contact in the Desert. And I'll be at the Portal to Ascension event in Glastonbury, and fingers crossed I can make it to Egypt. So it's really amazing to be here with all of you and some of the fellow presenters I have yet to meet in person. I'm really looking forward to not just virtual hugs, but real in-person, heart-to-heart hugs with all of you. As Alan mentioned, I am an angelic walk-in. I finished embodying in September of 2018. I am the physical embodiment of Victoria Elohim of freedom. I had someone say to me a few weeks ago, "It's interesting you have the same name. Well, my birth name was Margaret. I actually took on the name Victoria after my personality self agreed with this higher contract for me, Victoria, to fully take over this human experience. I am the Elohim of freedom. The Elohim are creators of worlds, and we created this beautiful blue planet that is referred to as Terra, as Earth, as Gaia. I call her Mama Gaia, Sister Sophia, as the sentient being in this planet is also one of the Elohim who chose to embody in this planet form. We were the creators of the divine human blueprint. We created the humans before they incarnated in their first carnation on this planet. The Elohim are now here, and some are embodied in human form, and some are in, like the Arcturians up there in the Elohim ship, surrounding this planet and ensuring the recreation of this planet as she is restored to her original blueprint, and human beings are restored to their original divine blueprint. This is a process, of course, because over the millennia, the original blueprint, both for this planet and for the people, have been downgraded and corrupted numerous times. And so we are here now, along with all of the other galactic guardians and beings, restoring the divine human to its fullest and greatest potential as one of the most magnificent creations ever created in the universe. And human beings have no idea how extraordinary they are. I work directly with Mother, Father, Creator, Prime Creator, Source. And many of the messages I bring through are on behalf of the mother aspect of all that is. And the love that she feels for every being on this planet is beyond words. It is so pure and so beautiful, and without any condition and without any expectation, the knowing of what human beings are capable of. And human beings have been fed these stories about who they are not. They've been fed stories about their nature being corruption, that their nature being competition, that their nature is a wanting to harm each other and a desire for greed, and all of that is simply not true. The divine human is pure bliss in a body. All aspects of the one love that is all that is embodied in human form. One of the greatest masteries ever created by Source. And we, the Elohim, work for Source Creator. There is a misperception that Elohim are the gods talked about in the Bible, the Anunnaki and some of those other beings that came later. The Elohim are the creators who created this planet and who created the original divine human. And we are not gods. We are angelic beings who were created by Source to assist Source in the creation of worlds. We reside in the same dimensions and frequencies as the archangels, so we do tend to tag team with the archangels quite a bit. We've been around for many, beyond all concepts of time and space, as we've created universes. And one of the primary missions now of the Elohim is Earth, the restoration of planet Earth and the restoration of her beautiful divine beings. That Earth is once again restored to the planet of paradise she was created to be, and that human beings are restored to their infinite potential as divine love experiencing itself in form. And so that's why we are here. And as I mentioned, I'm not the only one. I am here as a representative, as one of the primary Elohim. I've chosen to take human form. I do only take on human form when it is needed, when there are circumstances where humanity needs to be set free from its circumstances. So my incarnation now, of course, is the entire liberation of Earth and all of her beings from this dark contrast that Earth has been encased in for many thousands of years. And so this is what we are doing now at this time, as we are lifting not just the Elohim, but all the beings on Earth that are waking up and beginning to ascend out of that dark density of this 3D, three density, third dimension of consciousness, which is fear-based. This learning through the contrast of fear is now complete. And that has been an agreement of souls. About 6 months ago, all the souls of Earth agreed that we are finished with learning through the contrast. And so we will now begin to see the fear-based reality start to crumble around us as more and more human beings remember who they are. It isn't that human beings are corrupted, it's simply they've forgotten who they are. And they've forgotten who this beautiful being is that they're all made of. The love that Gaia has for every one of her creations is without words. It is the only way to explain it is the love that a mother has for her own children. And all of those of you who are parents know what that love is. So it is without words. When a mother looks at that beautiful, innocent child and sees everything that child is capable of, that is how we are seen by the divine. That is what humanity is capable of. And we're beginning to remember the love that all things are made of, and this false narrative of fear that has prevented humanity from remembering the truth of who they are. And all of that is starting to now melt away as more and more and more human beings remember who they are. And of course, as more and more of the starseeds and galactics and angelics embody in human form to act as guides for the rest of humanity. So a lot of us incarnated at this time, all of those who are presenters here are very well aware that we are volunteers. We volunteer to incarnate in human form to lead the rest of humanity forward in the desire that no one gets left behind. And we came here to be the love and to be the light, to awaken that love and that light within every human being, no longer imposed upon by old fear-based beliefs and constructs that were created in this old fear-based reality. As that old reality begins to melt away, and all that is left is love, experiencing itself as life, as all of us. And all of those who are here tonight from the other realms, we all came here for that same purpose, to restore humanity in each of us in our own way. And we've all come here to work together. That's why we're all gathered here. We came here knowing we would meet each other at some point. The family would reunite. And here we are. I think that's what's been so extraordinary about tonight, is that our hearts are all remembering. Oh, there's my family. I remember you. And we get to create an entirely new world, or rather, as I put it, recreating Earth. It isn't that we're creating a new world, it's that we're recreating what she was always meant to be. And we aren't creating new humans, we're recreating the human the way the divine human was always meant to be. And that's what we're doing here now. At this event and all the events moving forward, everything that's happened up until now, up until this extraordinary year, has been laying the groundwork for what follows. And how extraordinary it is that all of us, the volunteers, all get to be here and right now, all working together as one love and one light and one heart and one mind for the highest and greatest good of all life on earth, all bringing our unique gifts, our unique messages, our unique purposes for this one purpose, the elevation of humanity into all it has the potential to be. And from the Elohim, we want you all to know and remember who you are. We are here to reignite your flame, to renew your spirits, to rebuild your worlds, to restructure your genome, and help you remember who you are. There is no separation, only the illusion that there is. And that illusion is now melting away as you remember your place in the universe, your heart aligned with the galactic heart, with the heart of Source. You are remembering your mother, the mother creator of all that is, and her heart now beating through each of you. And as this heart is now healed and awakened, you will create this new reality based solely and wholly on love until fear dissipates into nothing more than a distant memory of what once was. As you become the divine beings you are always meant to be, and learning through the contrast is complete. As you now get to experience the joy of learning through love, learning through joy, learning through service, learning through love, learning through harmony, and experiencing and expressing the wholeness and the true holiness of who each of you are. We, the Elohim, are so pleased you are remembering. We are so pleased you are coming to your own rescue. We are so pleased you are remembering the role you came to play. And this is one of the greatest games ever created. And each of you play a role that is vital beyond anything you can presently comprehend. As you are all here for a magnificent purpose. And your magnificence will help set humanity free. You are all that. And we applaud you, we support you, and we are here for you. In every step you take, know that you are guided, you are directed, you are protected. And this is done. Earth is already in the recreation process, and each of you play a vital role. And we want you to know that we celebrate you. We are with you. And we are all in this with you. We are one, and so it is. And so they wanted to share this message with you to help you remember who you are. There are so many people who are waiting for someone else to come to their rescue, and we're it. All of us. This beautiful experience we call Earth.
Wow. Victoria, that was like such a beautiful, sweet message. And your angelic nature really comes through. So what a blessing for us to be in the presence of an angel. And it's so interesting because tomorrow in my Sacred Sunday show, it's all about earth angels. So, here we are in the presence of, clearly you are an earth angel. And just really appreciating that angelic energy and the love to come into a human body, to come into the density of the earth plane. And I just want to acknowledge the gift of that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There are many of us here, yes.
There are many for sure. And as a coach, I work a lot. I seem to attract a lot of people that are earth angels, and it's hard because it's so dense here compared to the high frequencies, the higher vibrations of the higher realms. And so I know that many earth angels pay a price to be in a physical body. So I have a lot of appreciation. Thank you.
Well, we usually choose very difficult human experiences.
Why is that?
It's so that we can teach through them.
Yeah. So to have that compassionate understanding of what it's like to be in a difficult human experience with difficult parents or difficult circumstances or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
Well, I put in the chat box, but for everybody watching on Facebook, or as a reminder for our friends, her website is her name, victoriareynolds.com. And she has all sorts of wonderful things that she offers. And she's got a wonderful book. And I'll go to that. And it's her brand new book. It's a different website, but I put that in the chat box. Recreating Earth, Metatron's Blueprint for a Whole New World. Tell us a little bit about this book.
This particular book is a co-creation, a collaboration with myself, Mother Earth, and Metatron. So I do work with the archangels, and Metatron is the scribe of God. And so he wanted me to show humanity what Earth looks like in the future. So this is a book about the future of Earth. And what Earth is going to look like when we finish recreating her and restoring her to her original design. And it involves what humanity, what human beings can do to assist in this creation process. One of the reasons this book was written is so many people kept saying, well, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And not a lot of people have the ability to envision what Earth is going to look like. So the difficult part is that I see and I know what Earth looks like, and it's taking what I see and being able to put it into words. And so I've taken what I see and what I know Earth looks like, this new, what is being referred to as the fifth dimensional, fifth density Earth, new Earth, love-based reality. There are numerous terms for this Earth that is a heart-based reality. And it is the planet herself restored to her original design. So this book is about what that looks like, what the human experience will look like. This book is specific for this transition phase that we're presently in, that will be taking place primarily up now through 2030, and then moving further into this fifth density after 2030. This talks about the systems collapsing and what will be replacing them, what new communities will look like. And there's a chapter of resources of where people go to connect with other people who want to be a part of creating this new reality. So because human beings helped make the mess, human beings also have to help clean up the mess. So one of the misperceptions that people have is the aliens are going to come down and clean it all for us, right? Well, the truth is that because we created it, we also have to help clean it up. So this book is a vision of what Earth will look like in the future. And it's also a guidebook for what human beings can do to participate in the creation of that new reality.
Beautiful. So once again, it's Recreating Earth, Metatron's Blueprint for a Whole New World. You can learn more by going to the link that I put into the website. Victoria, I'm going to go one more time back to your primary website and just share a couple more things. I noticed here that you are offering a lot. Everybody go and put in your name, like I'm doing right now, like I'm modeling it. And she's offering a free copy of a guide to Great Awakening and Spiritual Revolution and Ascension. And it's called Rise Up. And you'll get that downloaded just by subscribing, which I'm doing right there. And then if you click on where it says, see what I have for you, of course, that's what I just did, getting the free copy. But then you also do private sessions. Is that correct, Victoria?
I do. Yeah, and I also have a class I teach. It's called the Transcendence Process. I've put that on hold for right now because I am going to be traveling and teaching so much this year. Then I don't know yet if I'm going to be teaching this Transcendence class this year or not, just because I am going to be doing so much traveling. Yeah, I have a lot of other classes, and I do the one-on-one sessions as well. And also with that book, Rise Up, it's not it isn't a little 10 to 15 page free guide, but it actually is a full-length book available for purchase on Amazon. It's not just a little book.
Thank you. And you're offering it free as a download for people who sign up. So everybody go to victoriareynolds.com, sign up. And then if you're interested in more information, just go to her contact page again on the website. And that's where you can send her a message and connect with her about, possibly getting immediate support or adding her to as a speaker, because you are a beautiful, beautiful speaker. Wow. What a blessing to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And likewise, I've actually been watching your show for a while, and I was very honored when Alan reached out to me and invited me to be here tonight.
Oh my gosh, why have we waited so long? I'd love to.
Well, I have sent you private messages on Facebook. We've actually gone back and forth a few times. We just haven't connected yet.
I apologize. I now I'm embarrassed. I'm doing my best. I get so many messages, and yeah.
I divine timing is divine.
All right. Well, I am delighted to meet you. Thank you so much, Victoria, and I look forward to hopefully connecting with you again soon.
Thank you. I'll see you in Los Angeles.
You sure will.
Scott.
We are one love. Hey, Victoria's still there on the camera with me. Oh, we have so many announcements tonight, and I know that we've already heard so many amazing things that Alan and Neil are doing with Portal to Ascension. And I have a few more just really important announcements that I want to make, because as I said, we all are coming together. And I love all the people that I get to meet through this show, like meeting Victoria just now. And there's a wonderful couple that you've seen on my show recently, Ray and Sahat. And I love these two. They are, to many, your favorite spiritual couple. That's one of the ways they promote themselves, and I can certainly understand that. But I know some pretty cool spiritual couples, Connie and Andrew. There's some pretty cool ones out there, but you guys were you've invited me to be part of something on February 18th, and I'd love for you to tell my audience about it.
Yes, yes. Divine evening, everyone.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, this has been such a beautiful show tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you to every single person who just contributed some of their beautiful energy to the collective. It's been so transformational for a lot of us this evening. So thank you.
It's the unity for me.
Yes. Speaking of unity, that is what the Integrator Summit is all about. Just imagine living in a unified space on this planet where we all actually stepped into our oneness. You know, we found that a lot of people are focused either on mindset, where they're just like focusing on their thought processes, or they're focusing on physical, their body, what they're eating and working out, or they're focused on spirituality, but they're not necessarily tapped into all of the divine aspects of self. So we decided to put together the Integrator Summit to help you align mind, body, and spirit, and the integration of those three. And not just integrating with self, it's also integrating the community as well.
Because it's not peace that we're looking for, because when we're talking about these words that we speak, we're speaking spells. So it's not PIEC or PEAC, it's wholeness that we're looking for. Wholeness comes through integration. So we are integrating mind, body, and spirit February 18th and 19th. And we're going to have a beautiful, vibrant, cosmic collective of minds, of spirits. And we're going to create this reverberation of unification. And it's going to spread into all of existence, because we are all putting intention into coming together. So it's not just for the sake of integration of self, but also we notice that there is a separation in the conscious community. We have age, we have culture, and we are unifying that as well, because that is where the true unification comes from.
Absolutely. So we have some amazing speakers. A few of them are here tonight. So Scott will be one of the speakers. Alan will also be one of the speakers. Neil will be presenting as well, doing spoken word. And then we also have Omashar, who's going to be playing music for us. So we have an amazing, and then Tangela, most of you know who Tangela is. We have actually unified with her in order to bring everyone together. So this is not something that you're going to want to miss. We also have something to engage the body as well. So we have Iso, the god, who is going to help us with he's a master Qi Gong expert. He's going to help us engage the body at this event as well. So I dropped the link in the chat. It's just theintegratorsummit.com, theintegratorsummit.com. You can sign up. If you want to just sign up for general admission, it's free. But if you want to be in the VIP in the Zoom room, and you want to do an extra day of like a VIP day of workshops and Q&A, then go ahead and sign up for VIP. It'll be on the following page. So yeah, we are just beyond excited for this, because as a lot of people mentioned tonight, it is time for us to unify. So that is what we are here to do.
Yes. And there is something that spirit has to come through and share, because I am hearing and seeing what's going on in the community with health. So and we'll address it as health, because it is spiritual health, and it is mental and emotional health, which affects us on a physical level. So people who are experiencing depression, bring intention and focus into your breath. So if you're experiencing depression, inhale vibrant blue energy through your nostrils very deeply, and allow that vibrant blue energy to permeate throughout every cell of your being. And when you release through your mouth, you're going to exhale vibrant red energy. And when you exhale, make sure you exhale deeply. Exhale all of that energy that's in your lungs, because depression, gloom, and sadness is stored in the lungs. So when you experience depression and sadness, you actually don't intake enough energy, or I'll say oxygen, but we're actually breathing in a soup of energies. But when you are breathing in, you're not getting enough oxygen to your lungs. So we want to breathe in and do this for several minutes. And the longer you do it, and the more often you do it, the more you alleviate that energy and release that energy stored into your lungs. And for those who are experiencing blockages in your mental spheres, we're going to inhale vibrant gold energy through our nostrils and allow it to permeate through our being. And when you exhale through your mouth, exhale vibrant black energy. And this is going to balance the energies in your mental spheres, because our chakras that go through our body are connected to our mental spheres in our mind. And these mental spheres hold information. They hold different aspects to our multidimensionality. And to get into, really quick, I want to share 2 layers of the DNA. Both of them are interacting and activating your natural healing abilities. So the first layer, your biological layer, and you can activate this through affirmation just by communicating to your DNA. Because again, we are speaking high vibrations into crystals and water, because that is what we are composed of. So, dear layer 1, my biological layer, the cells of my body hold the templates and blueprints for perfect health. I am filled with vitality, and I am youthing every plasma every day. And for the second layer of healing, we'll tap into the 9th layer of our DNA. Dear layer 9, my healing layer, the cells of my body carry an intelligence known as innate. I give instructions to innate to release the correct chemistry for me, creating Zen, balance, immortality, ascension, and beautiful loving connections with others. And the beautiful thing about this purchase order of what it is that you are activating within your cells, within your innate, which is the consciousness of your cells, is that as an infinite being, you can create whatever it is that you wish, that you will, with your highest intention to activate within your DNA. That's
Absolutely.
Immortality. If that's, you want to get creative, you want to get some invulnerability in there, hey, we can keep it spicy. So there are a unlimitless amount of things that you can do with your innate. So I just wanted to share that.
And that was specifically there's a couple people in the community. I think it was Morgine. I'm not sure if I said your name right, but you had a friend who is kind of going through it this evening. Share some of the breathing techniques with your friend. And then Eleanor, for your healing process, utilize the breathing techniques and tapping into these layers of your DNA for your healing process. We love you, we thank you, and we honor you.
Yes.
And you all have a beautiful, blissful, and peaceful a whole full evening.
and vibrate in your magnificence.
Thanks for being with us all day. And they'll be back on the show February 8th. Tangela and I are doing a special show, kind of prepping people for Valentine's Day, the love experience. And so we'll see Ray and Sahat on February 8th. Thank you both. Love you much. So people are asking about what I'm going to be doing in British Columbia. And on February 16th, I am part of a whole day experience happening up in White Rock. It's called the Unite Fest. Those of you who were watched the show last Wednesday night, we were with Sean Kelly and some of his friends. And all the people that you saw on that show Wednesday night are going to be there live. Yoga, cacao, breath work, speed healing, dance, workshops. I'm going to be speaking about how to manage our reptile brain, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. I put the details, this link into the chat box, and that's going to be on February 16th in Vancouver area. And then a few days later on Saturday, February 19th, or Sunday, February 19th, I'll be in Victoria as part of a big Relation Flicks all-day event. I don't have the link for that yet. My friends Steve Rowland are putting it together, but I'll be promoting it and talking about it on shows. And if you have subscribed to the Global Peace Tribe, you'll get emails. And remember that when you do subscribe, you get links to the Zoom room for all of our shows, and you get access to all the recordings of all of our previous shows. Plus, every Monday we send out the replays. So this is a wonderful way to build community. I want to also really encourage people to come tomorrow to the show that we're going to be doing as part of the Sacred Sunday show. You know, we talked about, clearly, Victoria is an earth angel. We talked about that. And tomorrow morning, we're doing a very interesting show where we are acknowledging our earth angel family and also warrior angels. Beloved Chief Phil Lane is my co-host tomorrow, along with Kristen Hoffman. And he's invited a former Green Beret and Special Forces veteran leader who created the Angel Warrior Foundation, a man named Andrew Marr. And they have come together to create a very sacred covenant. And they're announcing this for the very first time. Tomorrow is kind of the premiere of their sharing this covenant that they've created, dedicated to ending all war and creating peace on earth by 2030. And those of you who know Chief Phil know that he's a powerful, powerful leader in our world. And so join us tomorrow morning for the Sacred Sunday show, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern. I also want to bring Sheila on. Hopefully she's still with us. There she is. She has this wonderful new network, the Conscious Awakening Network, which has been carrying the awakening world. And Sheila, I'm going to pull up the website, and I'd love for you to tell our audience all about the Conscious Awakening Network and what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'd be happy to. The Conscious Awakening Network is a multimedia conscious programming platform, and it consists of a plethora of hosts, as you can see, many of them here. The idea is that together we create this synergy so that we kind of raise each other up and get the messages out. And because we are located on Roku and Amazon Fire and Apple TV, and as well as on the website and have an app, we're able to get out to more people, to get out to the general public as well. Now, of course, we're on social media, we're on we're on a whole bunch of social media, but we also then are on all of the various podcastings. And so if you guys have not checked it out, I would love for you to do so. We launched in October, so we're just a little bit over 3 months old, going on 4 months old. We have over 500 hours of programming already with hundreds of videos. And you can also find us on like Spotify and other podcasting platforms as well. And so if you haven't checked us out, please do so. We'd love to have you join us. Actually, tonight we're being broadcast live out on all of the various platforms as well. So if you can't make it sometime, just turn on your app and there you'll find Scott. And we also have a lot of your programming on there, Scott. We have Alan, and we have a lot of people. So, if you have programming that you would like to get out, just give us a call. It's very inexpensive for people to get started, and we would love to have you join our effort.
Thank you. And I'm going to just go back to the website again. Just look at all these topics that they cover. Ancient origins, angelics, walk-ins, hybrids, and starseeds, ascension and deliberate creation, expanded consciousness, channeling, mediumship, and psychic experiences, health, healing, and wellness, light language and meditation, paranormal, afterlife, the unexplained, spiritual awakening, ufology, deep space, extraterrestrials, universal science, and quantum physics. And then on any one of these, there's just all sorts of main topics and speakers and presenters. So again, I'm so grateful, Sheila, to you for creating it. I know how much work it is to create something like that. And I'm going to bring your partner, Alan, back on. We kind of began with Alan and Sheila. If Neil is with us, I'm going to bring Neil back on too. But Alan, what's your experience so far of the Conscious Awakening Network? What would you like to share?
Say first about the show tonight. This was like a concert. We really built up the energy. We hit a crescendo, and then Victoria brought this piece in that kind of dropped all that energy right into our hearts, right into our being, and created a place of silence in us. So I can't think of anything else right now, but just being with that feeling. But I think what we're doing as a community is reaching into the mainstream with this, with Sheila's vision. And so this is another aspect of us coming together as a power, as a, like, almost, I hate to say political force, but it's a force that for change, but change on a whole other level of forcing things. It's what Victoria did. It's a change on a level of, I think Buckminster Fuller said, don't fight the old, show them the new that everyone wants to embrace. So this is our mission, and we're doing it in many ways, in music, like Tatiana and Omashar, in poetry, what Neil is doing, in videos and interviews. And it's worldwide, and it's a grassroots. So Sheila's efforts is another aspect of those imaginal cells going out, and suddenly we will butterfly at some point. But it's all really exciting because something new is possible. We're so tired of the old drama. I mean, how many times can you watch CSI where they're examining dead bodies, there's drama and the doctors? It's like, really? Are people still watching that? It's like, that's not what I think is entertainment. We're creating something new, and I think it's really exciting because wide open creatively. We have yet to tap the creative potential, and I say the only way to create new realities is by being the creator, being artists. And E. Cummings says, if you're not an artist, you go work for someone who is. So this is an opportunity for all of us to be the creator gods and add more input in whatever form it is. It's music, it's dance, it's interviewings. And we are moving the ball down the field. So at some point, those people who are really stuck in some old paradigms will say, hey, what do these guys have? So yes, I'm excited about everything. And we've demonstrated here tonight, Scott, something new is possible. There's 63 people still left in the room, and they've been here from the beginning. So this is food. This is emotional, spiritual food for us and all our folk. So
Thank you, Alan. Thank you. And I know it's 12:30 a.m. where he is in New York. And I want to really appreciate everybody who has stayed with us for the whole show. It's been a beautiful show. And the last thing I just want to remind people of is plan on coming to Los Angeles the last week of March. It's going to start on March 28th with the Los Angeles Convergence put on by Unity Earth, with live performances with Kristen Hoffman, Pato and Antoinette, Omashar, Dance with Keishi Chai, Shri and Kira will be coming up. And you can get your ticket for only $20. It's a live event at the Wisdom in Los Angeles. And then we're going to have our next Global Peace Tribe retreat immediately after that week. The event I just described is on Tuesday, the 28th. On Wednesday, the 29th, we're collaborating with Pato and Antoinette, going out on their land, doing sacred ceremony. And then Shri and Kira are going to stay, work with me. We've got Kimberly Meredith. We've got music with Bob and Pookie coming in from St. Louis, Omashar coming in from Colorado, Kristen, of course. And we're going to have an amazing Global Peace Tribe retreat that I'm still putting together. Juggling as much as I can, you guys. Also, for those of you in San Diego, I always promote everybody else's stuff before my own. Coming right up on Sunday, February 5th, I'm going to be part of a beautiful experience, a relationship satsang experience in the San Diego area in Encinitas. So for any of you in Southern California, come on down. We're going to have kirtan music, and I'm going to be doing relationship teaching along with Viraja, who you've seen on my show before. And that's going to be Sunday afternoon and evening, February 5th, which is like a week from tomorrow. So we just set that up. I'll put the details into the chat box. And I'll put a few of these things in the chat box as we conclude, and we are so blessed to be concluding with Omashar. This man is amazing. His commitment to the Global Peace Tribe, the way that he's always the first person, this all begins with Omashar and I doing sound checks many, many hours ago. And here he is still with us tonight, ready to close us out with a beautiful, beautiful song. And I'm glad you didn't get beamed away from us and you're still with us, bro.
No, I have a new beaming. I have spaceship number 2. This one is with a lot of heart, as you see there. And no more words. Wow, what a phenomenal night. Alan, everybody, holy smoke. That is what I feel is a holy smoke. This song is called The New Road. And here it goes. Here it is.
Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you and I love you so, I love you so. Just look at us now. Waves of inspiration filling our lives. Boundless joy. We're speaking our truth, basking in the pure light, freeing the way. Disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart and be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you and I love you so, I love you so. We're here on the new road, where air is so much clearer. Show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you, and I love you so. I love you so. Take off your disguise, show your starry eyes, open up your heart, be with me. Truly we're divine, let your spirit shine. I am one within you, and I love you so. I love you so. Just look at us now, waves of inspiration filling our lives with boundless joy. Could have carried that on forever, but hey, gotta stop sometime. At 11:33 here in Colorado.
I know. I haven't had dinner yet. I am hungry.
Me neither.
Omashar, thank you so much. And Omashar and I will be back tomorrow morning with
Namaste.
a Sunday show. New music from Omashar, music from Kristen Hoffman, Chief Phil Lane making a really, really special announcement. This is no hyperbole. I did just put in the information about the event that I'm doing next Sunday and would love to see you guys come to that. So anybody in Southern California, it will be in Encinitas, which is in North County, just north of San Diego, not that far from Los Angeles. And it's going to be a beautiful relationship satsang where I and Viraj will be answering your personal relationship questions and having live music and kirtan. So come to that. Then the following weekend is the LA Conscious Life Expo. There's also online event, the Integrator Experience, Integrator Summit that we talked about. I mean, there's so much going on. Last thing, for those of you who can't come to these live events, that's why I do 3 shows a week. Well, that's how this all started. You know, it started with the pandemic where people were stuck at home. And there's still a lot of people that aren't able to travel. And God bless Neil and Alan that are going to be able to go to all those amazing magical places. I will do my best to continue being in as many of those places as I can and providing it to all of you online, such as the Conscious Life Expo. You can't come to the expo. We're going to do the Awakening World from the expo and bring the expo to you. So that's what I'm committed to doing. Respect and love each and every one of you. And I hope to see you tomorrow on the Sacred Sunday Show. I'm going to go to gallery view one more time. Say goodnight, Twinkles, lots of love. And thank you everybody for being with us.
Great effort. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Good night. See you soon.